Hello, hello, my lovelies. Welcome in. Happy time zones. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a good weekend. Hello, Jody. Hello, Green. Hello, Bunnies. Hello, Dallas. Hello, Apple. Hello, Elixir. Hello, Cafe. Welcome in. Oh, the music's a bit loud. Turn the music down a bit. Hello. I don't know why I feel awkward. I keep feeling awkward when I start stream lately. But welcome in. It is Monday, so we will be working on Etsy stuff again. I love how I said, like, stream's gonna be on time in my Discord, because I was definitely up in time enough for it to be on time. And I was like, yeah, I'll just draw a couple more of the vocaloid stickers I'm working on before stream. And then I was like, okay, I want to finish this character, but maybe if I could finish, like, these two characters, because they like, match, so if I could finish, and then maybe, actually, I'd like to also draw this third character before stream. Maybe if I just finished these, and then I didn't realize how much time had passed. And then, I was on Tumblr, and, someone, not to name anyone, but Moth maybe has been sharing a lot of Wolverine TikTok edits in my Discord, and I had very forgotten how big of a crush I had on Wolverine when I was like 14, maybe. I don't know how old I was. I was like, I mean, okay, it did surprise me. I was like, oh yeah, sure. That makes sense. It was like, oh no, I have memories coming back to me of like having like an X-Men Sona and like what my room at the mansion would look like, and I'm like, I'd forgotten all of this. So if you see me reblogging stuff about Logan on Tumblr, you just keep that to yourself. I haven't even watched Deadpool and Wolverine. I wanted to, like, when it was announced, because I love the Deadpool movies, so I was, you know, I was sad that, because the third one was actually gonna not have Wolverine in it. It was gonna be a completely different movie. Domino was gonna come back and all sorts of stuff. It's gonna be X-Force, but then obviously Fox got bought out by Disney, and then Disney changed up entirely what it was gonna be. But I don't mind. I was like, that sounds like fun, watching those two characters. But then they had to make it an MCU movie, because of course everything belongs in the MCU. And I know they put out, the fact that they had to put out articles being like, oh, no, you don't have to have watched all the other Marvel movies to understand this one, shows that they've gone too far. The fact that they have to remind people that you don't have to watch like 40 movies and 10 TV shows in order to understand the newest movie. And I think that's true. I think if you've watched the other X-Men and Deadpool movies, you'll understand it. From what I have seen. But, from what I've heard. So it's not that I don't want to watch it because I've missed out on too much MCU. Because, apparently, you're still able to understand it. It's because the specific MCU property that it ties to is the Loki series. It has things from the Loki series in it. I don't know how heavily it's in it. I've only seen the trailers, and I was like, well, I guess I can't watch that. Because I can't look at anything to do with that show. Because of stuff that happened, obviously, when it came out, and being a trans person when the show came out, and talking about the show was not a safe thing to be doing. I mean, you guys know, you know, like, if you look at my main YouTube channel, I have a whole video essay about the transphobia in that show. And it's like, oh, but no, I can't, because it just makes me think of, like, all the harassment that I got online during that time, while I was trying to put that video together, and just, like, calmly talk to people and be like, this is actually harmful representation, and people replying with threats. So I can't, even if the TVA is in it just for like 2 seconds, I'm gonna have a panic. God, forget of all the properties to put in there. Why? Because everything has to be connected, because the MCU is, I mean, it's... People talk about, like, superhero exhaustion, but it's not even that. It's like, how is anyone meant to, like, get their child into Marvel, right? If they've got a kid and they grew up with the Marvel movies and now they've got a kid and they want their kid to watch the Marvel movies, the kid's gotta do homework. Like, because you can't watch the next Avengers movie without having watched all the previous ones. And then maybe some of the spin-off, like, my parents watched, the second Doctor Strange movie and came to me and were like, we were so confused. Yeah, because they hadn't watched WandaVision. They'd watched the first Doctor Strange movie, but they hadn't watched WandaVision, and I don't think they'd watched the Spider-Man movies, the Tom Holland one, so that's like... yeah, you know, you gotta do so much thing, so many, gotta watch so many things to understand any new release. That's why I just stick to Spider-Verse now. Which is a shame. But, yeah, I don't know what would... Julia was all excited because obviously they're doing a new Blade movie, but I'm like, I haven't watched, like, the last 10 Marvel movies. Am I gonna understand the new Blade movie? Because they'll probably tie it in to everything, or because it looks like what they're setting up for the next Avengers movie is gonna be stuff that started in the Loki series, like the TVA and Kang, right? Like, but everyone's like, oh, Kang's gonna be the next Avengers movie baddie, in which case everything's gonna be connected to the Loki series, so I'm gonna watch anything. But, I have, anyway, yes, no, I have not seen Deadpool Wolverine. But when I was a kid, I haven't seen X-Men movies since I was tiny. Like, the original X-Men, X2, and The Last Stand, I would have seen when I was a tiny kid, because my mum had a crush on Hugh Jackman. So, to show the kids the X-Men movies. So I was, like, so young, I don't even, like, remember. The first one, I remember rewatching a bit of when I was a teen, because it was just, like, on the TV, and I was channel hopping, and I caught, like, the end of it. So I remember, like, a bit, like, a couple, lines from the first X-Men. I remember, like, one scene from X2, and then nothing from The Last Stand. I saw X-Men First Class when it came out. I love that, occasionally TikTok will just recommend me a Charles Eric edit out of nowhere, and it makes me happy to know that that ship is still a-sailing. But I never watched Days of Future Past, and I never watched Apocalypse. I think I saw Wolverine Origins. I never watched the Wolverine spin-off, and I have seen Logan. So I've seen bits, but it's like it's so long ago since I've seen. Logan was the most recent X movie, if we don't count Deadpool. The most recent anything with Wolverine in that I've seen, and I don't even remember that. And that's like an alt future anyway, so. Green, I was just thinking about what you said in Discord, where you were like, "Oh, this isn't dehydrated Wolverine. I can get behind this," because I'm like, no, but it's true. I don't know if what you meant by that was what I think, which is modern Wolverine not as much appealing to me. Not because Hugh Jackman's older. I don't give a shit about that, but it's because he's dehydrated. Dehydrated being a literal thing, which is what happens a lot, which, I mean, Hugh Jackman did to himself in Les Mis as well, and, but, like, what you see, like, Henry Cavill did to himself as Geralt in The Witcher, where the actors will purposely dehydrate themselves for, like, days. They will just, like, not drink any water or barely drink any water for a couple days before shooting. It's not, like, a permanent diet thing. It's just if they're, like, they know they need to do a shirtless scene, then they won't drink, like, any water for, like, 2 days because it basically shrink wraps your skin to your muscle. Don't do that. No one should be doing that. They'll still look ripped without doing that, and realistic. I don't need to see this hyper unrealistic, oh my god, you haven't drank water for 2 days muscle. Whereas, like, little baby Wolverine in the first X-Men movies, he's not he's hydrated. I'm so proud of him. But no, if you look at like the Wolverine movie from like, I don't know when that came out, the one that's just called The Wolverine, I'm pretty sure that from then onwards is dehydrated Wolverine.
I was just wondering when you'd invite me back for a bite.
Thank you for the hydrate. Sorry, let me scroll back in chat because people were coming in and I was ranting about Wolverine. Thanks, Fever. Thank you so much for the first time chat. Welcome, welcome in. Weave, welcome, welcome in. Starlight, welcome, welcome in. But yeah, no, it is great. Especially him dehydrating himself on Les Mis. I've gone on rants about that before, because you know I like musicals. Like, imagine dehydrating yourself and then singing 8 hours a day. Like, he's lucky he didn't break his voice forever. Because if you're gonna be singing, you need to hydrate yourself a lot. That's why you like... If you see people doing concerts constantly, like, drinking water between songs, it's not just because it gets hot up there. It's like, you gotta take care of your voice. Is 100% what you meant. Cool. Yeah. I agree with you. But, yes, thank you for the first time chat. Thanks. Welcome, welcome in. If you have like a shorter name or nickname or something you would like me to call you, you can let me know and I will try my best to remember. I don't know if you've hopped over, if you've come over from Discord or YouTube, but if you just came via Twitch, you can call me Prince. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a neurodivergent trans vampire. Welcome to become one of my children of the night. I'm an 18+ content creator, voice actor, and illustrator, as well as a VTuber and variety streamer. I post tri-weekly ASMR audio roleplays as various characters on YouTube, both fandom characters from things such as Baldur's Gate, Marvel, Arcane, Call of Duty, and more, as well as original characters and scenarios. And I post 2 exclusive Not Safe for Work audios every month over on Patreon. All my socials are listed on my card. If you type !socials in chat, it'll pop up the link. And I have an Etsy shop where I sell original art and fan art under the name Empty Masks. We do getting Etsy orders ready on Mondays, so cutting out stickers, making badges. And on Wednesdays we play games. At the moment that's primarily Hades. But yes, it's a Monday stream, which means getting Etsy stuff ready, and also we will be listening to Welcome to Night Vale. I will explain more what Night Vale is, and trigger warnings for it, in a bit, because it is like an audio drama, and it is horror themed, so it's not everyone's cup of tea. So if you know that you don't like Night Vale or get uncomfortable with it, absolutely feel free to mute or leave stream once we start listening to Night Vale. But we got some updates, housekeeping that I want to talk about, because I haven't seen you guys since Wednesday. So let me... It's easy just to literally look in my Discord announcements channel and read from there. Let me see here. Hi Virgil, welcome in. Right, so what update? Okay, last week we talked about, the Patreon situation update. And the fees that the extra fees they're charging if you buy through the iOS app, etc. What else has happened? Twitch is putting up their prices again for the 3rd time this year. So, I'm guessing maybe this is I would say maybe this is an Apple thing, like how now if you buy a Patreon subscription on the iOS Apple App Store, you'll be charged an extra fee that just goes to Apple. I was like, maybe this Twitch thing's because of Apple, because it's only on the app, but no, because it's on Android as well, so I don't know. But for those who missed it, if you subscribe to anyone on Twitch after November 1st this year, and you do it via the mobile app, or at least it says iOS and Android, I don't know if they have any other kind of version of the app, but if you subscribe to a creator on Twitch via the iOS or Android app after November 1st this year, you'll be charged more money. Why? I don't know. Unlike the Patreon thing, the Patreon is charging you 30% extra, and all that extra 30% goes to Apple. This, it's charging you more money, but the more money is still split 50-50 with the creator. But, again, every time Twitch puts up their price for a subscription, streamers have no control over that. I would not want to charge you guys as much money as they charge now. It used to be $3.99, then they upped it to $4.99. Right now, I'm not sure if it's $4.99 or $5.99. But if you buy it via the iOS app after November, it's going to be $7.99. So do not do that. That's dollars, by the way. Why the fuck would you pay $8? So just don't. If you want to so again, it's gonna be from November 1st. It's gonna be $8 to subscribe to someone on Twitch, but only via the iOS and Android app. If you subscribe to someone via the website, via PC, or if you can get the website up in your browser on your phone, on Google Chrome or Safari on your phone, whatever you use, it will still cost the usual like $5 or $6. So if you do want to subscribe to a creator on Twitch, or you currently are on like a recurring subscription that you started on your phone, you might want to cancel that and restart it on the website. Otherwise, you're going to be charged like $2 extra every month. I don't know why. I don't get why they just keep putting the price up. Like, creators don't want this. Also, it's like, they keep putting the price of subscriptions up, but not really giving you guys any extra features. All, you know, what you get for your subscription is you get all of my emotes, and you don't get any ads. But they're not giving you anything else. There's nothing else I can offer you. And, like, the fucking new feature? Ooh. But they do, like, new features. They've got a new feature coming out. Isn't that cool? No. If you look at the fucking tweet that Twitch put out about their new knock knock feature, all the quote retweets of people being like, why the fuck would you do this? So I've turned it off. Well, you can't turn it off, but so it's this new thing that will pop up that, like, which it did pop up for me last week and I didn't know what it was. So if you're a streamer, what the fuck is knock knock? I will try and explain. So when I raid someone, like if we end stream and we go raid Julia or Desmond or Shy or whoever, normally it would just be, you did the raid, well done. But now it will give me a button, a pop-up that says knock knock, and if I click it, let's say we were raiding Desmond, if I were to click that, Desmond would get a notification saying, Prince is asking to collaborate with you, do you accept? What? The idea is it will allow people to impromptu collab without prior planning. Who the fuck wants that? Every streamer has been like, no, why? No one likes collabing without planning. Anyone who is going to collaborate on a stream wants to plan that in advance. Asking someone impromptu to collab is disrespectful, frankly, of their time. To just think like, oh yeah, well, obviously anyone will just like want to like collaborate with me. Like, no, people plan out collabs because people have different schedules. And just because I'm live doesn't mean I want someone else to be live with me. I might not be in the mental space for it. My PC might not be able to handle it. Like, it just feels like a way to spam people. Imagine being a big popular streamer and getting raided by a lot of fans. And every time you get raided, someone can notify, ask to collab, ask to collab, ask to collab, ask to collab, no. No! But you can't turn it off permanently. You can snooze it for one stream, but then you have to do that again the next stream, and the next stream, and the next stream. So the workaround is there's like a list of who's allowed to knock on your door, right? And you can have that be like everyone on Twitch, mutuals only, or just your favorites. And then you make a list of favorites. So the only way you can turn it off permanently is change that to be just your favorites, and then just don't favorite anyone. Now, this might already seem like a wasteful feature, because who wants to have an impromptu collab? Who wants any random person to be able to try and ping them for collabs? That's annoying. It gets worse. If you knock on someone's stream, it will automatically turn their webcam on. And a lot of streamers who, you know, who use, I forget which way round it is. It's either if someone were to knock on my stream, it would turn my webcam on, or if I were to knock on theirs, it would turn my webcam on. I forget which way round it is. I think is if it's someone knocks on my stream, it turns my webcam on automatically. If I were to knock on theirs, it would turn their webcam on automatically. And obviously that doesn't matter for facecam streamers, and that doesn't matter for me who uses a PNG model because my webcam right now is like not pointed at my face. But if you ever see a VTuber who has like a model that moves, like a rigged model, 3D, 2D live, right? Like a 3D model that moves, the way that that moves is like essentially motion sensors on their body via their webcam. Like their webcam is tracking their body movements. So most VTubers, and any VTuber that has like a 3D model, has their webcam pointed at their face and body, because that's how it's tracking their movement to know when to open their mouth, when to blink, when to turn their head from side to side. So that's a great way to forcibly face reveal and potentially dox most VTubers. So, pretty much, Twitch announces the new feature, everyone goes, this is annoying, ayo, wait, what the fuck, it turns people's webcam on automatically, and old Twitter has just been teaching people how to turn it off, but again, which makes it even worse that you cannot permanently turn it off. You can either snooze it every stream, or you just go into your settings, make it only my favorites can knock on my door, and then just don't add anyone to your favorites list, is the only way to keep it permanently off. If you do stream on Twitch, I would recommend that you go and you do that. If you want the tutorial, I did retweet it on Twitter. You have to go into like your Twitch settings and then enable the not panel and then blah blah. So if you do stream on Twitch, even if you don't do it very often, I would recommend going and turning the fuck off this feature. But, you know, Twitch can't give us a feature that we actually want. I saw people actually proposing someone proposed a couple of features. I was like, those are decent. I forgot what one of them was. One of them I was like, I really like the idea of that. One of them was like, what about the idea of like, being able to group your followers into different lists? And I was like, yeah, that sounds fine. But there was another one that they came up with. I was like, that actually sounds like a useful feature, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, no one asked for this. It's not a default panel either. You have to like enable the panel and then go and fucking starts breaking some kind of privacy. Man, I guess they'll just say it's your fault for having your webcam facing your face in the first place. Like, I don't know. Like, luckily, I have my webcam at all times just, like, thrown behind my desk. Like, it just chills behind my monitor until, the occasional time I do it, like, until, you know, unless I'm doing, like, a face call with my partner, on Discord, but whenever I'm on stream, it's always just behind my monitor, apart from on Mondays where we do, like, hand cam streams, but even then, it's, like, facing my hands, but still. Jesus fucking Christ. But you need to give permission for your webcam to turn it by an outside source? I don't know, there might be something in Twitch iOS, not iOS, TOS, that says something, I don't fucking know. Yeah. So that's what's up with Twitch this week. Putting up the price again and giving us features that no one asked for and actually are annoying, if not potentially dangerous. So the usual. So there's update number 1. Update number 2 is nicer. And I should have had these links up. Hang on, let me get links up so I can copy and paste them into chat. Update number 2. Me and Julia, my partner, we've been together 2.5 years. And we've been trying to meet up for a very long time. But money is a thing. She lives in California. But I am pleased to say that we, over the weekend have booked, the plane and the accommodation. And we will be seeing each other later this year. Amazing. But obviously, it was expensive. I had savings, but obviously that's a chunk of them gone, and we split everything 50-50, including the plane. And Julia, so, you know, obviously for me, that's a chunk of my savings gone, and for Julia, she had to put, I think, all of it on her credit card, or some of it on her credit card. And the rest of it, again, a chunk of savings gone. And that's not including, we haven't booked any train tickets that we need for what, because while we're here, obviously, we're going to be traveling around the country, and Julia can drive, I can't drive, but obviously she's not bringing a car with her. So that we haven't paid for any of our train fare yet, and obviously, buying food and going, you know, and stuff like that. So, what Julia is doing to help her fund her part, because obviously I mean, for my part, everything you guys do already helps out so much, but Julia is currently having a bit of a sale going on. If you would like to help fund our trip, let me give Julia a little shout. Also, because obviously she'll be taking 2 weeks off work as well to come see me, which means that's 2 weeks she will not be getting a paycheck for. Which means 2 weeks she won't be able to pay rent for. I'm fortunate enough, obviously, to have this job where, like, while I'm away, I will still have 3 audios a week scheduled on YouTube and Patreon. So, like, I will have to close, both of us will have to close our Etsy stores while we're away. So that will be at least 2 weeks that my store's going to be down for. Which is scary, because especially because it's, like, the Christmas season as well, and I'm like, that could have been so many orders. Yeah, I will do a post closer to the time being like, hey, if you wanted to get something in from my store, maybe do it now, because it's going to be closed for the next 2 weeks. But I'll post that closer to the time. But obviously my Etsy store will be closed for a couple of weeks, but Patreon, everything will still be on Patreon like usual. So I'm very thankful to be able to have a job where, like, it won't matter too much that I'm taking 2 weeks off, as long as I record way more audios in advance and have them all scheduled. Whereas Julia really relies on her IRL job to pay rent and bills and stuff. So if you would like to help out, let me give Julia a shout out, because she also streams here on Twitch. If you don't get fed up of seeing me here 2 times a week, you can often catch me 1 or 3 times a week over on Julia's streams. We normally collaborate over there. The only reason we don't collab more on my channel is because my computer's like 15 years old and it can't handle having a Discord call open while I stream very often. And also time zone difference. When I'm live, it's like 6 AM for Julia, or she's at work. Whereas when she's live, it's the evening for me, so I'm available. So this is the way the time zone works. But she also streams on Twitch. She has 3 different YouTube channels. She's got her ASMR channel where she does voice acting like what I do, but obviously for female characters, both original characters and fandom characters. She's got a gaming channel and an art channel. The gaming and art channel both have collaborations from myself on, both from gameplays that she's recorded and also highlights from her streams. Let me do the Twitch shout out so you can give her a follow over on Twitch. So if you would like to and are able to help support the trip, Julia currently has 50% off everything in her Etsy shop. Thank you for those of you who already ordered. Some people placed orders overnight. That was very sweet. So she currently has 50% off everything in her Etsy shop. And 50% off all of her art commissions on Ko-fi. So she has commissions for emotes, PNG VTuber models, chibi drawings, little custom cows, and then also headshots to full bodies, either in black and white or in full color, and character sheets, and also 50% off all of her audio commissions, both safe for work and not safe for work. The 50% off commission sale will be lasting until September 30th. The 50% off the Etsy store will last until September, I think, 24th. The only reason the Etsy sale's shorter is because Etsy only lets you do a sale for like a max of 30 days. If you want to get the 50% off her Ko-fi commissions, which is art and audio, the link is in chat. You need to use that link to get the code. Her Etsy store is just a site-wide sale. You don't need to enter any kind of code or anything. Let me pop a link for her Etsy store in chat as well. I'm so incredibly thankful to all of you who support me on Patreon. If you've bought anything off my Etsy, donated on Ko-fi, subscribed on Twitch, or even just watch videos on YouTube, you know, that counts towards ad revenue. It's because of all of you I'm able to fund my part of the trip, and I'm able to see Julia, as well as, you know, paying rent and bills and all of that. And if you can't support Julia financially, please consider subscribing to her YouTube channels and watching some of her ASMR videos. We're trying to get her monetized on her ASMR channel, and for that to happen, she needs more watch hours, which means the amount of hours everyone has spent watching her videos. Until she gets to 4,000 watch hours, none of her videos can be eligible for ads, and non-monetized videos aren't pushed as much by YouTube in their search results and people's recommended videos. Julie also streams on Twitch. We often collaborate on her channel, and she has a gaming channel and an art channel, as well as her ASMR channels. And she also has a Patreon where, like mine, she posts one Not Safe for Work audio every month over on her Patreon, and also sometimes puts Not Safe for Work art up there as well. I think that is everything. Let me get up Julia's Etsy store so you can have a little look at what's on offer. So if there is anything that you've been eyeing on Julia's store for a while, now would be a good time to get it while there's the 50% off. And also because, again, like myself, later in the year, towards the end of October, we'll both be having to close our stores. Because obviously we can't be packing up Etsy orders while we're over here. That's more sales than this morning! Hot damn! But Julia's got a bunch of cute little stickers. You see that? Hopefully you can see that. Okay, let's see. Can I zoom in a bit more? Or is this... Okay, it'll do 3 on a row and that's it, and it's kind of freaking out. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, that's pretty big. So we've got these citrus dragon stickers, and all of these stickers you can buy individually, or you can get as like a full pack of 5 or 6 or however many are in the set. We've got little citrus dragons. We've got the alien cats. I fucking love this white cat with the sunglasses. I love him so much. We got the Jujutsu Kaisen kitty stickers. The little grumpy face of Nanami and his little eyebrows are so fucking cute. We got Pride Sugar Skulls. We got the little bread stickers, which are adorable. Like little animal themed breads. We got all of the cubs from Animal Crossing. We got Pride cows, and there's more options for the Pride cows than just this picture. This is just the first picture on the listing, but there's actually, I think, 12 different options, not just the 6 you see in the thumbnail. So if you don't see your flag here, don't worry, it might be there. Because there's a second page with the multisexual, non-binary, omnisexual, pansexual, rainbow pride, transgender, and then aromantic, asexual, bisexual, gay, gender fluid, and lesbian flags. We got desert princesses, we got Astarian, we got bakery cows, we got some of Julia's OCs, we got these silly, goofy clown cats, garden cows, Twilight Volturi pin-up stickers, fruit cows, Phantom of the Opera, little shrimps, sleepy dinos, like naughty candy heart stickers, bedtime sea creatures, the FNAF 1 animatronics as Care Bears, like Sun and Moon and their variants as little baby dolls. We've got some Halloween themed stickers, capybaras, some Twitch emotes, and then some bracelets and earrings that she has made. So yeah, if you've had your eye on anything for a while, or if anything's just caught your eye now, the sale will end on I think the 24th of September. So if you want to go and grab anything, now would be the time to do so. And you know, any funds that she gets through this and through any commissions will make her trip to come see me not put as big a hole in her pockets. I think that's everything. But thank you to anyone who's already, because of the announcements that I made on socials, you know, gone and subscribed to Julia, or ordered anything from a store, or ordered a commission, because she has had at least, I think, 1 commission in, and obviously maybe like 4 sales. So thank you guys so much. I think that's everything. Watch parties. Thank you to everyone who came to the watch party last night. For those of you who are in my Patreon-only Discord, every even-numbered month we do watch parties every Sunday. There were so many songs and artists that were bops that I'd forgotten about because there's only like 6 songs on the cast album or something, but there's like 20 songs in the musical. So I'm gonna have to go through and actually like rip the audio, because every single one of Morgana's songs is so good. She's so good. She deserved better. So normally I would say you'll have to wait, you know, until, you know, a couple months until the next watch party, because we wouldn't be watching again until October. However, as I will not be available in the last 2 weeks of October, what we would have done is watched something every Sunday in October, but I will not be available the last 2 Sundays in October. Or 2 of the Sundays, yeah. I forget how many Sundays are in October. Yeah, I will not be available to host the watch parties the last 2 Sundays in October. But fear not, that does not mean that we will only have 2 Halloween watch parties. What we will be doing instead is having 2 the first 2 weeks of October and 2 the last 2 weeks of September. So you guys only have to go 3 Sundays before we're back at it with the watch parties, because I'd already planned to do 4. I don't want to change my plans. Last year for Halloween was the first watch party month we ever did in the Discord. I'd done watch parties before that in the Discord, but it had just been random whenever I feel like it, before we had the consistent schedule. So last Halloween 2023 was the first time we actually did the every other month watch parties. So we're still gonna do 4. Last year's Halloween theme was like monster musicals, so we watched Tanz Vampire, Rocky Horror, Beetlejuice, and Sweeney Todd. I forget if we did 5. Hang on, I have a text document with them all in. And Little Shop of Horrors, there was 5, yeah. This year there's 4 Sundays in October, and even though we're gonna split it over October and September, we're still just gonna do 4. Sweet Todd, I missed it. I was sad about it. Oh, well, we'll probably watch it again. So I need to change actually what I've written down here, because it will be the there'll be the 22nd, which is a special somebody's birthday. So it'll be the 22nd of September, the 29th of September, the 6th of October, and the 13th of October. Yeah. So, last year was like monster musicals. This year we're just doing vampire themed stuff. So on the 22nd of September we will be watching season 1 of Castlevania. Season 1 only has 3 episodes, so we can watch them all in one chunk. It'll be about 3 hours, 2.5 hours. I think they're 40 minutes each. The episodes will be kind of 2.5 to 3 hours long, which is about the same length as some of the musicals we've watched. The later seasons of Castlevania have more like 10 to 12, like 8 to 12 episodes. The first season only has 3 because it was kind of like a pilot test to see if people were interested. I know a chunk of people in my community have already watched Castlevania, but I also know a bunch of you haven't and would like to, so hopefully I can give you this little teaser and get you hooked. Because some characters don't appear yet in Season 1, like Hector and Isaac don't appear yet in Season 1. Alucard's not in Season 1 a whole bunch, but obviously is more in the next seasons. But I can't show you the whole show. You gotta go off and watch the rest of it on your own, because it would take too long. But I can give you the little taste with Season 1. On the 29th of September, we will be watching Frank Wildhorn's Dracula musical, specifically the Graz production, so it is in German. But we'll be watching it with English subtitles. The reason for picking the German production over the Broadway is it was made a lot better. Between the Broadway production was first, but by the time it got to Germany, he'd rewritten the musical and also added new songs that he wrote specifically for the actors in the Dracula musical. Specifically, he wrote new songs for Thomas Borchert, who's playing Dracula, because it's a German production of a Frank Walter musical, therefore Thomas Borchert has to be in it, and a new song for Van Helsing, specifically for Uwe Kruger, who is playing Van Helsing in the Dracula musical. Yes, the same Uwe Kruger who originated the role of Der Tod. I think he's very sweet as Van Helsing. What I love about this version of the Dracula musical, I feel like it tries to romanticize Dracula, which I don't love, because, like, it's following the book plot, which, for people who don't know the original book, the whole Mina being Dracula's reincarnated dead wife, that's not in the book, that was made up for some of the movie adaptations. So in the book, he just, like, sees a picture of Mina one time in Jonathan's luggage and then, like, goes full-on creepy and stalks her. And, like, it's gross. Like, you're meant to be like, ew. And I don't like that it kind of tries to romanticize Dracula a bit, but I feel like that's also kind of... I personally don't feel like he's trying to be shown in a good light. I mean, I think they try and make you feel a bit sympathetic for him, but I personally don't. I'm all for people trying to kill him. What I love about it is it has all three of Lucy's love interests in it. Not many Dracula adaptations include Quincy Morris, and they should. I love my little cowboy man. And all of us know that really, why should Lucy have to pick? She should just be able to date all three of them. So I love that it has that. Mina and Lucy's friendship is adorable. I have, like, the Frank Martin Graz Dracula musical production, I'm just like, I think everyone should just kiss each other. I'm like, Lucy should just date all three of her suitors, but she should also be dating Mina. Mina's obviously married and in love with Jonathan, and they both smooch, but also both of them should also be smooching Van Helsing. Something that they nail in this musical is how sweet the relationship between Van Helsing and Mina is. I love when they get that right, because, like, Van Helsing is, like, just the one, like, he's immediate, like, ride or die for Mina. This is the most, and not just like other people who are like, oh, not like Dracula, who's like, she's so pretty, she must be mine. Van Helsing's just like, this is the smartest woman I've ever met. She is smarter than me. She is smarter than all of you fucking idiots. He's number one. Everyone should listen to Mina. Why the fuck are you ignoring her? Something's going on. And he's so sweet with her. I really love their relationship in the musical. If you ever look at my AO3 that I don't really use anymore, just because I haven't written anything in ages, I did start and abandon a Van Helsing, Mina, Jonathan fig based on the musical. The fixation left me, okay? But also, you know, obviously Dracula's into both Jonathan and Mina, and also has three wives, and also, in my opinion, is exes with Van Helsing and his wife Roseanne. They give Van Helsing a wife who was turned into a vampire by Dracula, and I'm like, everyone's involved in this musical, in my opinion. You know, it's a Frank Wildhorn musical, so it might not have a lot of depth in a lot of places, but it's got some bops in it. Is this why we don't have the Zu Ende song? Yes. So Zu Ende was written specifically for Thomas Borchert and Uwe Kruger, which is why it is which is why it's specifically in the Graz production, but it's not in the earlier German language production, the St. Gallen one, because we had Broadway, and then we had St. Gallen, which had Thomas Borchert as Dracula, and then Drew Sarich replaced him as Dracula. And that was immediately after that, Thomas Borchert left that Dracula production to go play Krolok in Tanz der Vampire, so Drew had to replace him as Dracula, and then Thomas left Tanz der Vampire as Krolok, and Drew replaced him as Krolok, like, back to back. But yes, so Zu Ende was specifically written for the Graz production, which is why, even though there is an earlier German language production, it's not in that. Same for the song Roseanne, that was written specifically for Uwe Kruger as Van Helsing, so that started in the Graz production. Since then, there's been a lot of South Korean productions, which I hear very good things about. The South Korean ones have a bunch of extra songs as well. The costumes for Dracula are really nice. I want to steal them. There was also a Japanese production that he did, where Dracula is played by a woman, but not Takarazuka style, not like Takarazuka, where it's an all-female acting troupe, and so they cross-dress, and, you know, it's still women playing the characters as men. No. This is full-on gender bent. This is a woman playing Dracula as a woman. It's amazing. Has Yoko as Dracula, who previously was a Takarazuka actress, and also married to Frank Wildhorn. He's just like, yeah, my wife gets to play Dracula now. Good for him. And they didn't gender bend anyone else, so she's still like seducing Lucy and Mina. It's amazing. God damn it! I'm not allowed to talk about musicals. Look how long I talked about the on the 29th of September. We'll be watching the Dracula musical. Oopsie. And then on the 6th of October, we'll be watching Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It is a anime movie. You do not need to have seen the previous Vampire Hunter D movie, because there is an earlier Vampire Hunter D movie from the 80s. You don't need to have watched that one. The Vampire Hunter D anime movies are both based on the Vampire Hunter D novels. They are a series of Japanese novels, not manga, although there has been a manga adaptation. It's a series of novels, and I hate that I always forget the author's name, because it's really bad, because I can always remember the illustrator's name, which, you know, Yoshitaka Amano, the illustrator of Vampire Hunter D, is one of my favourite illustrators. You may know him better as being the designer of a concept artist for a lot of Final Fantasy stuff. And designing the Vocaloid Zola project. Fucking give me the name of the author, it was so bad. Hideyuki Kikuchi is the author of Vampire Hunter D. It's a series of novels. Both of the movies are just based on different novels. Neither of them are based on, like, the first one. It's a bunch of novels where D is his name, and he is both a half vampire, half human, and also hunts other vampires. I'll give you... Vampire Hunter D is fascinating to me because it's like, oh, so it's like a vampire thing, right? Yes. But it's also set in like a dystopian future, and there's also like rocket ships and stuff. It's like it's a cowboy western, sci-fi, supernatural fantasy. It's a wild combination of genres, but I love Vampire Hunter D. Bloodlust is gorgeous. You don't need to know anything about the books to enjoy the movie. You don't even need like the basic lore, but basically to give you guys some extra insight on Vampire Hunter D, vampires in the Vampire Hunter D world, which are often called nobles, they can breed, like they can just have babies. So pure vampires are vampires who are created the same way that humans make more humans, and then kind of like, if you're created by being bit by a vampire, because that still happens, the vampires consider them lesser if you're a vampire who was turned and not, like, born. D himself is, like, stronger than any other vampire because he's actually the son of basically the Vampire Hunter D universe's version of Dracula, who is basically old enough to consider himself a god at this point. He's, like, he's literally just called the Ancient One. And he tried to experiment having a bunch of half vampire, half human babies with a bunch of different women, and he's just like the one that survived. So he's ostracized from all other vampires because he kills evil vampires, and most vampires in this world are pretty evil. But also ostracized from humans who think he's disgusting for being like a half-breed. Poor sad boy. So he's a big old loner sad boy, but he's also more powerful than, like, anyone else in the world. Because, literally, Dee's list of powers in the books just keeps getting crazier and crazier. He can, like, absorb black holes now or something and bend all of space and time. Because he also, I want to point out, whenever I see people trying to think of, like, most powerful or, like, the oldest vampire characters, I'm like, dude, I have you beat. Because D is, like, 10,000 years old. And Alucard from Castlevania is like 19. No, but there's a piece of art I really like by Kokosa, which is D and Alucard talking to each other, and D's asking Alucard how old he is, and he's like 19, and he's like, 19 what? Like 1,000, 100, like 10, like a million. And he's just like, Adrian's just like, no, 19. Fucking look on D's face. But one of Dee's powers is literally that he will just, anytime he, like, meets someone with different powers, he can just absorb them and, like, copy them, and they're his now. And also, one of his powers is that he will just get more powerful the older that he gets. So it's just insane at this point. But something to give people context for if you're gonna go into Vampire Hunter D, because neither of the movies really explain it. He also has his left hand. Left hand is just called left hand. Left hand is, like a demon that possesses Dee's left hand. So if you ever see his left hand, it has a mouth, it has a face, a whole face on the palm of his left hand that is just a wisecracking kind of asshole. He's a silly guy, and is Dee's like companion, because they're like, why would Dee want a demon in his left hand? Because the demon eats souls, so if he ever needs to like kill a vampire, he can just have left hand eat its soul, essentially suck its soul out. Left hand will not be explained in Bloodlust, so I am warning you now, because sometimes people go into Bloodlust on my recommendation and they're like, what is that voice that's like talking? Does Dee have like an internal monologue in a different voice? I'm like, oh, that's left hand? No, that's left hand. Oh, sorry, the movie gave no context or explanation for left hand. He's just there. But yeah, Bloodlust is gorgeous, but yes, it has quite a lot of blood in it. If you were to watch the 1980s Vampire Hunter D movie, if you're not familiar with 1980s anime, it was a wild time. It was a 1980s, like, direct-to-video anime movies were like fucking pre-code movies. They were just like, I wonder how much crazy body horror goro sex we can get away with. And it was just a wild time. There's a really nice video, there's a really good video essay on like weird 80s movies, and I was like direct to DVD, direct to video, direct to VHS anime movies from the 80s, and I was like, they better mention Vampire Hunter D, and they did, and I was like, yes. Bloodlust is very pretty and nicer to look at. Obviously there's blood in it. The 80s Vampire Hunter D movie, which is just called Vampire Hunter D, is much more body horror. You might want to see if you can check trigger warnings before you watch that. That one's definitely more graphic, because fucking 80s direct-to-VHS anime movies were crazy. But Bloodlust is adapted from one particular story, which is very, very sweet. There's a very sweet romance in it. I don't ride or die many heterosexual ships, but I fucking ride or die Charlotte and Maya. I will protect them to the ends of the earth. And then on the 13th of October, we will be watching Tanz de Vampire, which I have, if you've been in my Discord a while, you might have already had me show this to you 3 or 4 times by now. But, you know, every year there's going to be new people in the Discord, which means there's people that haven't seen Tanz yet. And we need to fix that. It is a German musical. It is a horror comedy vampire musical. There is some fake blood, but that's about all the scares there is. And you barely see the fake blood. It only appears like when a vampire bites someone's neck, and then they have to spit out a little bit. They have like a capsule in their mouth. And then when they went in to bite someone, they have to kind of crunch it and then spit, just kind of the blood out on the other actor's neck. So that is a horror comedy vampire musical with music by Jim Steinman, aka the composer of all of the Bat Out of Hell Meatloaf albums and Holding Out for a Hero and Total Eclipse of the Heart. So that's the kind of energy we're going for with the music. Those of you who haven't already met my husband, Graf von Krolok, will get to meet him. You'll get to see Drew Sarich as Graf von Krolok. I'll just be a silly old time. Oh, a silly gay old time. Because the main vampire is very bi-coded, and he is a single dad. He's a single dad, and his son is gay. No, I don't mean gay-coded, I mean full-on gay, is trying to get a boyfriend the whole musical. Let him have a boyfriend. So I will get the post in the Discord about the watch party up today or tomorrow, whenever I remember. And there'll be Discord events, and you guys can tick yourself as interested. If you want to get pinged for when the watch parties happen, if you, in the Discord, there is a Discord channel called React Roles, and there is a role for the watch parties. If you, react to said post, the voice chat role, the magma role, the watch party role, role, and the silent co-working role. If you react with the little movie camera, you'll get the watch party role. And also, you can take yourself as interested in the events. I will always ping the watch party role 10 minutes before I press play. So you guys got a bit of time to get in. Jody posted Wolverine in the Discord. I'm going to scroll back up now. Jody, come back to us. Let me scroll back up, because I know people are talking. Probably a story is only 39 when he was toned, just like baby for elves. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Makes it even sadder, doesn't it? But also, yeah, I mean, if you want to join, if it is Patreon only, but if you are a Patreon member, again, it's for every tier. It's literally as cheap as I could possibly make it. Patreon won't let me have a tier that's lower than £1 a month. The only reason why it's pay to entry is because it's just an easy way for me to keep it 18+ only, because my Patreon is 18+ only, therefore Patreon demands that you be 18+ to enter the Patreon, therefore also the Discord. I don't want to be like those Discords that make you send them. I do not, like, feel comfortable with those 18+ Discords that are public, and to get in you have to, like, DM a mod a picture of your fucking driving license. What the fuck is that? Feels like how you get yourself doxxed. No. Don't do that. Please don't send random people on Discord pictures of your fucking ID. No matter how much you want to be in the porn Discord server. So the way that we keep ours 18+ is just because Patreon demands you be 18+. So there you go. But yeah, so if you're already in the Discord, whenever anyone joins, I should have DM'd you. It's meant to send you, Patreon's meant to send you this message automatically, but it does not. So I manually try and send everyone the message that tells you how to link your Patreon to your Discord. Because sometimes I get people DMing me complaining like, I subscribed to your Patreon for a whole month and I never got in the Discord. I'm like, well, that's because you didn't join. You have to tell Patreon you have a Discord account. Patreon does not know that you have a Discord. And if it did, it would have to, like, hack into your computer. Like, it's good that it doesn't know. Patreon does not hack into your PC or your phone to find out if you have a Discord and what that account is and then get your password for your Discord. Like, no. You've obviously got to connect it yourself. So you have to manually, within the Patreon website, I don't know how you do it on the app, but within the Patreon website, manually connect, you know, your Discord. And then it should just automatically ping. If you already have Discord open on your PC when you do this, then it should just pop that screen up in Discord that pops up when you get an invite to a new server. It should just pop you right in. But yeah, I always send everyone that message because there was a thing in Patreon where you could, like, set up an automatic welcome message, and I was like, right, okay, I want the welcome message to tell people how to join the Discord, because not everyone will know how to do that. And it just doesn't send it out to people, so I just manually DM everyone myself, because fucking Patreon doesn't do the automatic DM that it let me set up. So maybe that was all a lie. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to join the Discord, we're very silly in there. Watch parties. There's a voice chat role that anyone can use to ping anyone if you guys ever wanna do voice chats. We have a Magma art channel if you guys ever want to set up your own Magma canvas. You are free to, and post a link in there. Green's seen the Logan art. But yeah, if you want to join, just read the rules. There's like a chunk of channels for me posting things, and then the safe for work channels, and then the not safe for work channels. Or not safe for work, even though obviously it is an 18+ Discord, please do not talk about not safe for work stuff in the safe for work general chat. Just not because there's any shame in it, but just because, like, it just keeps it separate for anyone who might not be in the mood, for anyone who might find it triggering, or for anyone who doesn't want to risk seeing not safe for work art on their phone when they open their phone in public. So... But yeah, Discord's the best way to keep up to date with what's happening and stuff. That is all the announcements I can think of. We did Watch Party, we did mine and Julie's trip, talked about Twitch putting up the price of subscriptions on the app, so please don't subscribe to people via the app. It'll charge you like an extra $2. Subscribe via PC. I don't know if that applies to people who... With the Patreon price increase thing, that only applies to new people who sign up. But with Twitch, it doesn't specify, so I think if you already signed up, or if you already subscribed to someone via the app, I don't think it will keep you at that low price. I think it will take over. It doesn't say, so I would just err on the side of caution and maybe cancel your sub and then go and resubscribe via PC. Okay, that was a lot of talking. My voice hurts. I forgot to properly position my webcam before stream, so you're gonna have to bear with me doing it now. 1 hour in, we can actually start stream. Let me... You gonna stay? You gonna stay? Hello. There we go. So we have 2 sheets of stickers, 1 sheet. I didn't get the badge parts from downstairs. God dang it. Alright, well, I gotta go do that. We got 2 sheets of stickers to cut out and 6 badges, but I forgot to get the badge parts, so I will run and do that. And then when I come back, you can see my thigh. I didn't give you permission for that, chat. When I come back, we will start listening to Welcome to Night Vale. Also, I mean, I'm very happy some of the Castlevania stickers sold. These took so long to make. Thank you, people, for buying some of the... It makes me feel like I didn't waste 3 months of my life. No, they didn't take 3. I don't know how long these ones took. It was on and off for a few months. But yes, so I'm gonna BRB to go grab the badge parts because they're downstairs. And then when I come back, we'll go back to listening to Welcome to Night Vale. We listen to Welcome to Night Vale every Monday while I do art, because if we listen to music like what we're doing right now, I will just ramble. I'll just keep talking. I'll just, like, nervously ramble. So, if we listen to someone else talking, you know, if that's, like, an audiobook, a podcast, whatever, I can't talk over them, otherwise you guys would miss what is happening. So, on Mondays we listen to Welcome to Night Vale. Welcome to Night Vale is a horror comedy, audio, like, fictional audio drama set in the fictional American desert town of Night Vale. And it's presented as if you are listening to Night Vale's local radio station with their local radio host, Cecil. Trigger warnings for... yeah. They describe Night Vale as kind of a town where every supernatural being and conspiracy theory exists. There's always strange goings on. Trigger warnings for... It's just like Cecil recapping the daily news. But it'll be a little different today, because we're listening to, like, a big old season finale episode today. But trigger warnings in general for Night Vale, if you want to go back and catch up on episodes that we've missed. Or that you've missed, sorry. Obviously, horror. Audio descriptions, obviously, because it's just someone describing the events happen. So, descriptions of, body horror, derealization, gore, blood, violence, conspiracy theories, etc. I can't do a detailed list of all the triggers in it, because there is not one, and I myself have listened to up to, like, episode 118 of Night Vale before I lost track. They're currently, like, on episode 200. So we were starting from the beginning to introduce new people to Night Vale. We are currently listening to the Year 2 finale, which is episode 49. Which came out in 2013. Currently, Night Vale is currently in its 12th season. It is still going. New Night Vale episodes come out on the 1st and the 15th of every month. I'm not in any way affiliated or sponsored by Night Vale. the least I can do is give them a shout when we listen to their content. But we are listening to all of their free episodes. They do have extra live episodes that you can pay what you want on Bandcamp for. You can pay as little as $1. I would so recommend them. If you want to extra Night Vale, we will not be listening to those episodes here because obviously they're behind a paywall. They also have a couple novels. They have a Patreon. And in terms of like the live shows and the novels, they go out of their way to really try and make them like, there's bits that you will be like, ooh, like, haha, if you like have listened to the show, but also you can go into those without any prior knowledge and they should still make sense. Yeah, they also have Patreon and a merch store if you do want to support them financially. If this is your first time listening to Night Vale and you just want to jump in, these, like, they do say you can listen to any episode in any order you want, but that is not correct. They shouldn't say that, because we're going to listen to Old Oak Doors Part A and B today, which is the Year 2 finale, and it will not make sense very much. You'll definitely get a vibe of what Night Vale is, but this isn't going to make a lot of sense to you if this is your first time listening to Night Vale, because it, Andy, welcome in. Oh yeah, Night Vale's still a-going. Year 12, that's crazy, right? It makes me feel old, because I started listening to Night Vale, like, I started listening to Night Vale in 2013, so I went back and caught up on all the 2012 episodes, and then kept up to date from then on until I dropped off in about 2019. But, yeah, yeah. And they're still doing live shows, they tour. If you ever want to see them live, they do tours at least, like, kind of once a year or once every other year. But yes, if this is your first episode of Night Vale, it might be quite confusing. Because this Year 2 finale is tying up plot points from both Year 1 and Year 2. We're tying up all the Strix Corp plot points, and this finale is very, very special because, unlike the end of Year 1 finale, which is just a regular episode, this finale was filmed live. It is it is live. There is an audience, so you will hear them cheering and interacting. 2, it is a two-parter, much like the Sandstorm was Part A and Part B. This is also Part A and Part B. 3, instead of the usual 25 to 30 minutes, each episode is about 45 minutes long. 4, instead of the usual, it's just Cecil talking, and instead of the occasional rare and exciting, it's Cecil talking and we have a guest voice actor, as with all Night Vale live shows, there are many other voice actors that you will hear in these episodes. This is the big... what is... Oh, it's playing Castlevania music. This is the big, kind of rounding out of, like, Strix Corp, Kevin, Lauren, well, not Daniel, Daniel's dead. The House That Doesn't Exist, Dana, The Desert Otherworld, The Old Oak Doors, God, what the fuck else is going... The mayoral election, between Hiram McDaniels and the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home. And we're gonna get a bunch of characters showing up, because there's a bunch of stuff going on. Obviously, where we left off, Cecil has just taken back control of the radio station, Lauren and Kevin have fled, but obviously you'll be hearing from Cecil, you'll be hearing from Lauren and Kevin, and you will be hearing from a bunch of other people, and I'm so excited for you guys to see the development, particularly between Cecil and, shall we say, a member of his family? Since you guys now are aware that these two people are related. Cecil and his greatest enemy. I'm really looking forward to that scene. Because he really steps up. See? But for any context, any reminders of what is... I think you guys will remember well what is going on, where we are with Strix Corp. For any other reminders... for bits you might have forgotten. Obviously, Cecil and Carlos have been together for a year now. I forget if they live together at this point or not. They or at least were attempting to. Carlos, no one knows where he is right now. Lauren and Strix Corp managed to capture Carlos's team of scientists, but they couldn't find Carlos. So currently, we don't know where Carlos is. Dana is still in the Desert Otherworld, but has teamed up with the masked army, and it is clear that the Old Oak Doors do lead to the Desert Otherworld. Some of them might lead to other places, but some of them definitely at least lead to the Desert Otherworld. We saw Erica return and help Cecil out, and seemingly maybe took Cecil to the Desert Otherworld and then back to Night Vale. Not exactly sure. He appeared in the painting where the lighthouse is, and we know that the lighthouse is in the desert otherworld. Which I guess makes it clear that those might not be paintings, but portals, or at least like live video feeds, I guess, more so, of said lighthouse. The smiling god is in the desert otherworld, and his light is slowly taking over all of the desert otherworld. And I don't know if killing or brainwashing anything it touches. I don't know. I mean, brainwashing would make a lot of sense, given how people who have been drawn into Strixcorp and the Smiling God cult act, like how Kevin acts. Where else we left off? John Peters was still in the house that doesn't exist last time we saw. I'm sorry, I didn't say you know the farmer. Lola reminded that Cecil's niece Janice exists. Cecil has a sister. Sister is married to Steve Carlsberg. Steve is Janice's stepdad. Niece is called Janice. She has spina bifida, and has been using a wheelchair since birth. I only bring that up again because it will become relevant. I don't know if they mention it again, so I just wanted to mention it because it makes something that a certain character says way worse. Oh. Smiling God Strixcorp really be teaching people terrible values and fucking them up. And I don't remember who it is who says it. I don't remember if it's Lauren. In which case, if it's Lauren, I don't forgive her. It's like, what if Lauren was brainwashed? I don't know. Fuck her. Whereas Kevin, I'm like, if it's Kevin, it's not his fault, poor baby boy. He's been brainwashed but not beyond repair. I want them to... we can fix him. Yeah, they did mention no, they haven't mentioned in the audios that she has spina bifida, but I just wanted to mention that. Because I'm not sure if they mention it in this audio, so I just wanted to remind people. So that is what we will be listening to when we get back. I need to go get the badge parts. We probably will just be listening to the finale, and then we'll start season 3 next week. It might not take 2 hours, or 1.5 hours for me to do all of this. We'll see. If I end up finishing all of this before we finish the finale, I'll just start working on the, keep working on the vocaloid stickers. So, I will be right back. Get your popcorn ready. Hold on to your butts. We're about to listen to the biggest, coolest Night Vale episode that there ever did was. Yeah, that's the sentence I'm going with. In my opinion. Because it's such, like, this celebration of, like, how popular Night Vale was at the time. Thank you, Tumblr, for that. And just so many, you know, it's the only, to my knowledge, regular episode that they've done live. And the only season finale they've done live that is, like, free, the only live episode that's free to listen to. So this will also give you a taste of, you know, what to expect from the live episodes and maybe convince you to buy them. I would especially recommend, from this season, there's Condos, which is Cecil and Carlos trying to buy an apartment together, and The Debate, which is a mayoral debate between Hiram McDaniels and the Faceless Old Woman. If you want to listen to Hiram's gorgeous voice more, the main head, the golden head, especially has a gorgeous voice, doesn't he? he's a little southern cowboy. So yes, prepare yourself. I'll be right back. popcorn acquired, glasses on, butt held. Good. Oh, there's a bug in my room. It's not the same one that was in here last night. It's like a tiny little fly. I lost sight of it. Dang it. Wow. It was above my bed. Oh well. Let me end the Toho lo-fi. And we're gonna go dive in. I'm excited. I have not listened to this episode since it came out. Well, no, at one point I was re-listening to Night Vale. I decided, like, I'm gonna re-listen to all of it. But I don't remember how far I got on the re-listen, so... But I do distinctly remember listening to this for the first time. I know I've talked about it before. My bedroom ceiling was leaking, so I was sleeping downstairs, in the living room. And I was struggling to fall asleep on the, like, the little air mattress or whatever it was, because it was not comfortable. And I was like, oh, I don't know if the episode had just dropped, or I'd just needed to catch up on it. And I was just alone in the living room, it was all the lights were off, and I was just like, I'm gonna listen. And I was just, like, so excited for everything that was happening. I don't remember that many scenes too well. I remember the Steve Carlsberg scene. I am going to scream when that scene happens. I do remember like, what happens to... I do remember where every character ends up. I'll say that. But I don't remember the little details of, like, lines and quotes, apart from the Steve one. But other lines, I do not remember any other quote. I might get reminded of them as they start to happen. I might be like, oh, but I at least remember the fate of every character. But I don't remember all the events that lead up to that. So it'll be a little refresher for me. I'm like, my tummy's, like, a little nervous. I think I'm just because I'm like, I hope everyone enjoys. Because, like, even though I didn't make it, I'm like, well, I'm responsible for showing it you, though.
Hi, this is Joseph Fink, speaking to you from the room I have been trapped in for years as various imposters have spread across the world.
We're just gonna launch right in.
What you are about to hear is not a typical Night Vale episode. This is a recording of our 2nd anniversary live show, performed before a sold-out crowd at Town Hall in New York City. It's a big theater near Times Square, or more specifically, it is the first half of that show. The show turned out to be over 90 minutes long, so you will hear today part A of our episode 49, our 2nd anniversary special, and on July 1st you will hear part B, okay? Okay. So many things. Here's some things. We are just a couple weeks now from our US and Canada tour, starting June 30th in Montreal. We are doing a ton of places in Canada and the US with a touring script you'll never have heard in any of our podcasts or live recordings, ending at the San Diego Comic-Con. Our live shows have turned into this separate, special thing, bringing together people of all kinds and giving them an experience that is...
I would agree. As I say, like, the live shows, you can go and if you wanted to, like, watch the Night Vale's current, like if Night Vale do a live show next year, and you wanted to see it, even though you've only listened to, like, 60 episodes and not all 200, you would still be able to understand what is going on. It's just an excuse for them to be able to get a lot of guest voice actors on stage, and have a fun silly time.
So much more than just watching someone read a podcast. We are really excited to be able to share.
And they do have live music. Disparition, the guy who does all the soundtrack for Night Vale, is there doing the soundtrack live, and they always have another live guest musical artist who does the weather segment live.
Share this experience with more people. Go to welcometonightvale.com and click on live shows for the full schedule and buy tickets.
Which I will say, last week I let you guys listen to some of the weather, and the VOD did get muted in some places because of it.
If you want to get some sense of what our live shows are like, other than, listening to the episode right after this intro, recordings of 2 of our live shows are available for pay what you can at nightvale.bandcamp.com or on iTunes for $1.99. Both are almost an hour of entirely new live material with guest stars and live music. It's the second best thing to being in the room when we perform. Just last week, we added to our online store a beautiful, seriously beautiful Dark Owl Records t-shirt based on a painting done by a fan. Also, we added a If You See Something, Say Nothing and Drink to Forget flask. if you like things.
Oh, that
have the
classic
instructions
Nightvale
written
slogan.
Right on them. Go to
People
welcometonightvale.com
break
and
things
click
on
on
it with an
store
American
to see
nightlight.
those things and many more other things. We plan to continue removing from and adding items to our store regularly from now on. So, keep checking back to see what's new and don't wait around if something catches your eye. Hey, if you like what we do here with our show and you want to help us find our keys, seriously, have you seen our keys? I swear I had them just 2 seconds ago. Please consider signing up for a small monthly donation. We really do depend on all of you. Those who donate a little more get a special personal audio thank you.
I know what happens.
Those who
I don't
donate a
know all
little
the
more get a
details.
special personal audio thank
But
you from Cecil himself.
some of
Go to
it's gonna feel
welcometonightvale.com and click on
new-ish.
donate to do that thing.
get
This has been Joseph Fink. I've been clawing at the walls for weeks, but it hasn't even made a mark.
No,
All right,
Joseph.
that's it from me. I take you now to Town Hall
I'm
in
like-
New York City, where Meg
It's getting
Bashwinner
worried.
is about to introduce to the stage someone you may have heard of. Meg?
And now, listeners of every kind, the
This is like peak Nightvale fandom high.
I'm so sorry. Are we interrupting something? I'm sure.
Uh-oh. Hi, Lauren. You are kind of interrupting.
It's nothing important. The sun is bright, the moon is irrelevant, and we are light and light and light and light. We're light. Listeners, this is Lauren Mallard, Vice President of Strex Corp, community supporter of the Night Vale and Desert Bluffs metropolitan area.
That laugh, I know. I heard the laugh. I heard the laugh that was behind Lauren. I know whose laugh that was.
I'm here with Kevin, who has been a radio host for Night Vale's sister city, Desert Bluffs, for how long has it been, Kevin?
I can't say.
Kevin, don't be modest. You are the voice of our community.
I literally am incapable of saying, Lauren.
Kevin and I are broadcasting from a
Probably because he doesn't remember anymore.
secret location because of some recent changes to the town of Night Vale.
Strex Corp was in the process of bringing together the two cities, but there was some...
Miscommunication.
Yes.
Miscommunication.
Thank you, Lauren. You're so helpful with your words.
Again, I love their dynamic because it's so clear that Kevin hates Lauren. Even though they're both on the same team and they both either have been brainwashed by Strex or just Kevin has and Lauren's just willingly there. A little bit of like the real Kevin, like, thank you, Lauren. You're so helpful with your work.
Miscommunication. And now the little town of Night Vale is upset.
We tried to bring them endless, searing sunshine and delicious trans-dimensional orange juice and adorable furry pets with adorable gnashing teeth.
Oh, I love my Strex pet, Lauren. Oh, it is the cutest. I take it for walks. I throw sticks at it. I tell it my worst secrets. I feed it mice every night before bed.
They're not supposed to eat mice, Kevin.
I've trained it to.
Oh no!
It took some weeks, but it is accepting its meals now. Lauren, did you know that in Night Vale, people are not even allowed to visit the public dog park?
I mean, okay, Kevin, that does sound bad out of context, but like, it turns out that it was for a pretty good reason, because the dog park actually is dangerous and leads to an alternate dimension which you could get trapped in forever. Like, I know out of context it sounds bad, Kevin.
Right. You know what? They cannot eat wheat or wheat byproducts.
They tend to say.
Delicious wheat. Delicious byproducts.
Or have computers or writing utensils. And their community radio interns keep having accidents.
Okay, I mean, like, that's true, but like,
Or in the case
they also don't, like, brainwash people to worship a corporate god.
of that intern Dana meeting her own double, one of them killing the other, and then the remaining one not sure if it's her.
But I think also this is helpful, Lauren and Kevin having this segment, because it's helping people who haven't listened to Night Vale before get an idea of, like how introduce them a little bit, you know, to what's been going
Or
on.
her double being trapped for over a year in a strange other desert world where she's been making trouble for us with an unruly pack of angels and dumb masked warriors. Ugh, it's a very beautiful but very unproductive town, not reaching its full productive potential.
My grandmother used to embroider pillows with the phrase, "Reach your full productive potential." I loved those pillows so much, she sold one to me.
That's sweet. That is a good story, Kevin. So, we at Strexcorp, not wanting our neighbors to flounder under the oppressive terror and darkness, brought bright yellow
enthusiast, me
helicopters
too.
here to rid the town of all its terrible horrors. The weird shade.
So okay, this is like a plot recap. So I guess I shouldn't have been like, if you haven't listened to it, you might not understand, because I forgot they were going to recap the plot. So I'm sorry if you already left because you thought you weren't going to understand.
In Grove Park that kills people if you look at it or talk about it.
You're talking about
the hooded figures.
Shaping Grove Park doesn't like when you acknowledge it. It's the Shaping Grove Park that no one exists or talks about. No one acknowledges or talks about. That's my favorite. That's the first episode of Night Vale I ever listened to, was the Shaping Grove Park.
That infiltrate everyone's deepest fears and dreams. The vague yet menacing government agencies that record everyone's conversations. And the glowing cloud that drops dead animals.
Facebook
The rip in
records
time
everyone's
that allowed
conversations.
dinosaurs to come through.
Pteranodons are not dinosaurs, Lauren.
Green, do you like Kevin now? He knows his dinosaurs. Yes, Kevin.
Stations. And the glowing cloud that drops dead animals.
I do.
The rip in time that allowed dinosaurs to come through.
Pteranodons are not dinosaurs, Lauren. They are arachnids.
You are right.
No, you are right. It is hard to get work done in such a dystopia.
Right?
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 Right! And then they just allow that teenage girl, what was her name? Tamika. To start a militia.
Well, luckily she's in prison.
And then they bring these ugly scientists to study things that should not be studied.
Ugly?
Luckily, he's trapped in the same desert otherworld as intern Dana.
Okay, so we're gonna gloss over you calling Carlos ugly and soak in the information that he, I guess, managed to escape Strex kidnapping him and his scientists by running into the house that doesn't exist. So now he's with Dana somewhere. At least he's not alone.
Lauren, I think maybe this is our fault.
How so, Kevin?
We loved Night Vale too much.
We cared for them more than they could understand.
We showed them sympathy beyond which they could receive.
Let's show them empathy.
That's right. You were too nice. That's the problem, Lauren.
Empathy.
Did you hear that, Night Vale? No more sympathy from Strexcorp. No more emotional symbiosis. We will
But I
give
struggle
you
with
empathy. We will give you the room to understand what you need.
I don't know if I need
But what you need is sunshine and structure and jobs.
They don't want a handout. They want a hand around their neck.
I mean,
In a show
with
of
you, Kevin.
friendly
What?
solidarity.
I mean, what?
A strong pat on the neck.
Let us show you empathy in a handful of dust, Night Vale.
Just
See, when I
look
say
at
things like
all
that,
this empathy.
I'm not alone.
Look
That's
at
with
it.
me.
Look at it every day.
Look at it forever. Okay, talk to you all again soon. Sorry for interrupting whatever this silly little thing is.
We're just there to recap everything. Now we're all caught up.
As I was saying, and now, listeners of every kind, the voice of Night Vale, Cecil Baldwin.
Bye, thanks. Thank you for stopping by.
Think back. Look forward. Listen timelessly. Welcome to Night Vale.
This is episode 49. Old Oak Doors.
Hello, listeners. I speak to you now from the one spot in Night Vale that remains truly ours. The studios of the Night Vale Community Radio Station. I have learned well from my misunderstanding about how barricading a door works.
There's signs.
And so I have, for 2 weeks, managed to keep this studio free of StrexCorp influences and employees.
Yes, there was Jody. Kevin offered.
But enough of the preamble. Now to the amble. Today is the day. There is only one thing for today.
Free to be
And that is the destruction of the hated StrexCorp. And freeing our town of Night Vale. We will work no longer. We will worship a smiling God no longer. We have failed before. We have failed so many times at so many tasks. But at this, we will not fail.
Someone walking on stage.
I hope.
Oh.
I mean, I really, really hope that we will not fail.
Me too, Cease.
In any case, we will be devoting all of today's broadcast to the revolution with no interruption.
Excuse me.
Hello, sir. Mr. Dan.
excuse me?
Cease speaking, or I will cease your speaking for you.
Hello, Mr.
Raise it there,
McDaniels.
greenhead.
Listeners, I'm sorry. Mayoral candidate and literal five-headed dragon. Hiram McDaniels has just burst
I know that
into
southern
the
voice
studio.
anywhere. Hello, Goldhead.
I am also here.
Hello, Princess Owen.
Did someone just speak?
Yes, it's me, the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home.
Ah.
I am crouched in the crawl space under your studio right now. There are many interesting...
Hi, Blaze. We're currently listening to the season 2 finale of Welcome to Night Vale, which is a special 3 times as long as usual and live episode with a bunch of voice actors also starring. So we get to like see all of the Night Vale characters that we've heard from before, and I think also some new ones that are getting voiced for the first time. Potentially, I don't remember, but definitely at least all the ones we've met before.
The insects and pipes down here.
Well, it is great to have you both, but listen, there's this revolution to
Cecil.
do.
They're trying to lead a
and-
revolution.
Far be it for me to get in the way of your revolution. I'm all for liberty. The tree.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. You can't be mayor of Night Vale if there's no more Night Vale, so you should frankly agree with the revolution. In terms of how, so if you hear the southern voice, that's Gold. That's the Gold head. The one that sounds like they're in a constant state of panic, that's Violet, or Purple, but they prefer to be called Violet. And then I get confused between, I think red is red anger, and then there's green and blue. One of them is like,
If liberty must be periodically watered with blood and mulched with detached limbs and pruned using shears made from bones.
is it green?
It's my favorite tree. I hear your purple head.
Oh no, that was Violet, because he sounds like
we
he's
are
panicking.
here because you are forgetting the most important thing that is happening today. Today is election day.
It is election day.
Today is that day when finally Night Vale citizens will be able to affect change. Or not affect change, but they will be affected by it.
Sure. Well, there is also an election today, and we will certainly cover that as well, okay? But for now, please go stand in the alley behind City Hall and await the results, as is traditional.
Thanks, Cecil.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll check back in with you soon. Yes, what my gold head said. Pitiful whelp of a man.
Let us go immediately to the news. Many citizens are reporting that old oak doors with brass knobs have been appearing all over town.
I mean, again, and they first appeared in season 1. I love how tied together the first 2 and 3 seasons
Doors
are.
open onto a desert landscape quite like this one. Through these doors are arriving tall creatures with long faces and broad wings.
They're coming through. Erica!
These creatures are difficult to categorize. But the best I can do is definitely not angels. The
Erica's a
not
coming
at
out.
all angelic creatures are joined by enormous men and women wearing masks.
Revolution
The
time.
not angels and the masked army have torn down the electric fences trapping the people
The
at
company
the
picnic.
StrexCorp company picnic.
Yay!
And this is great news. But, unfortunately, the news is not over. StrexCorp has responded with a seemingly unending force of eyeless, blood-drenched office workers, dressed in smart but affordable business casual clothing.
Which again, a lot of them are missing eyes, that's why sometimes you'll see Kevin depicted without any.
And armed with jagged knives and toothy smiles. They are backed by a swarm of yellow helicopters that have filled the sky and yet, strangely, have not blotted out the sun. In fact, the sun seems brighter.
That's bad. Brighter is bad. The smiling god is made up of light, or at least uses light to infect and control people. Brighter's not good.
Than ever. Unnaturally bright.
It is a headcanon green, I don't think we know for sure. Cecil just says that Kevin's eyes are like a black void. It could be that there's none, or it could be just that they are black.
If a ball of highly compacted gas that sustains life through mere proximity could ever be called natural. The horrible, smiling office workers have driven the tall, winged creatures and the masked army back from the picnic. The Strex force is too much for even these rescuers from another world
headcanon
to
came from
handle.
somewhere.
Whatever unspecified powers they have are, unspecifically, not enough. And they are, quite specifically, losing.
No!
They are fleeing. Some have fallen.
We've got to be able to fight the
As the
smiling god
ravenous
powers.
office workers swarm over them. The angels, or, not angels, have entered the juvenile detention center looking for a certain
Mika.
little girl. No. A young woman. No. A human being. And her well-trained militia of other human beings. But the cell that once contained Tamika Flynn was empty. Instead, there were only shackles that had been pulled completely apart, and the words, "I am found."
Hell yeah, she broke herself out.
Written on a bookmark laying across page 210 of a paperback copy of Leonard Cohen's Book of Longing. The current whereabouts of Tamika Flynn are not known. The winged creatures, who are all named Erica, and the army of masked giants have continued their retreat before the onslaught of eyeless office workers all the way past the old town drawbridge. Listeners, given the urgency of today, I plan to skip some of our regular features as well as sponsored ads. But since forcing out our current ownership, we've gotten a bit behind on our bills. So there's now a sentient patch of haze in my studio.
Hello, Cecil. Hello, listeners. My name is Deb.
And
Forgot
Deb
about Deb.
won't actually leave my studio until she has told us all about, what are you promoting?
Whole Foods.
Ah, right. So, even though we've got this whole big revolution to do, let's take a moment to listen to Deb, the sentient patch of haze, about,
Whole Foods.
Yes.
Thanks, Cecil. At Whole Foods, we don't have any rotting, decaying matter mixed into our products. There are no secret blood rooms in our stores, where we keep the secret blood. None of the boxes of cereal contain spiders, and if they did, they would be very friendly, helpful spiders. Why wouldn't you be lucky to find a spider like that in a box of Whole Foods cereal? Or not just one, hundreds of them. But anyway, you won't. Whole Foods serves only the freshest food, and we certainly do not keep venomous snakes under the fruit in our produce section. Why would we? That would be dangerous and not good for business. No one has died of a snake bite at Whole Foods. No one you know. Whole Foods. Why in the world would we poison our frozen dinners? We definitely do not do that.
Well, thanks, Deb.
Oh, no, thank you, Cecil. Good luck with whatever you got going on here. Seems uninteresting and human.
Oh, okay. Well, goodbye, Deb. Listeners, I apologize for these noises you might be getting. That there is some other radio signal. It's interfering with our own.
Cecil, hi, it's Lauren Mallard.
Sorry to interrupt.
Kevin and I just had to break into your signal. We wanted a moment to talk with you. Gently talking solves a lot of things.
Violent revolution has never solved anything.
I beg to differ. America was founded on a revolution.
Sorry, I was getting excited about Cecil and Kevin interacting, because we've never actually heard them talk to each other before. We've only ever heard, like, them kind of them talk about meeting each other or miss each other.
And I mean, sure, we still are ruled by the reptilians, but the Lizard Kings let us have our own country after they saw how hard we tried during that revolution thing.
That was decades ago, Cecil. Anyway, we want to know what we can do to keep your business. We here at Strex Corp Synercists Inc. are dedicated to the betterment of life through branding, social networking, and upbeat music.
And hard work.
I'm pretty sure it's implied that hard work is part of it, Kevin.
I'm pretty sure I didn't ask for your feedback.
I love him so much.
Cecil, Strex Corp values the effort you put into making this station what it was.
Because you can hear that he's still obviously smiling because he's forced to. As any Strix Corp employee is forced to. But just the, I'm pretty sure I didn't ask for your feedback.
Is what it is. But when employees are refusing to participate in our trust exercises and boycotting our products and attacking us with our own helicopters, then I think we have failed our mission statement.
And what is your mission statement?
This.
I think we heard that in Sunstorm Part B. We've heard it before.
We got so caught up in thinking about our business that we didn't think. We didn't use our brains. We didn't think about the people. People matter at Strex Corp. They matter because of the business. We are here to set things right. First things first, we will rebuild the Night Vale Harbor and waterfront recreation area and divert thousands of gallons of necessary drinking water from other towns to provide it with its namesake. We will also fill in the giant hole out back of the Ralphs.
But where will the people
who huddle there
go to huddle?
Oh, Cecil. You are simply resistant to change. Your revolution is cute. Community togetherness is adorable, but money is power. We will invest.
Are currently investing,
To make Night Vale a better place to live.
thus increasing the resale value.
Also, we know everyone fears libraries in Night Vale, which is why Strix Corp will tear down the library, destroy the dangerous librarians, and replace it with Strix Books purchase centers.
Don't you dare.
I know who that is. You guys haven't heard it before.
Don't you dare try talking about books.
Tamika, is that you?
Hello,
Yes.
Tamika Flynn.
I found their secret location using a radio triangulation technique I learned by reading an anthology of Emily Dickinson poems.
Lauren, be careful. She has a slingshot and a heavy-looking edition of John Osborne's successful play, Look Back in Anger.
Thank you, Kev, but I will happily deal with this myself.
Don't you? He doesn't like being called Kev. How dare you? I can't remember if I saw this post on Tumblr or if it was a post I made of someone being like, what if Kevin hates being called Kev because Strix Corp has taken everything from him and he'll be damned if they take his name as well? Like, that's the last little bit of himself he has left after Strix completely rewired his brain. There's a sad thought for everyone.
I just so happen to have my own slingshot and an extremely heavy edition of the Strix Employee Handbook.
Well, Lauren, you have this situation under control. I'm just gonna go and oversee important things elsewhere. Let me know when you take care of this child.
I love books. Take that book you're holding. It looks ill-written, ill-conceived, full of bad ideas expressed badly. I bet it lacks narrative arcs and an appreciation for the flow of language. It looks like the worst book in the history of books. But here's the thing, it's still a book, and I love books. So, you do not deserve to even hold it.
Then come and get it.
Tamika, stay alert.
Let me throw some ideas at you. Yes!
Tamika, are you hurt?
Cecil, Tamika won't be a problem for us any longer. Now, what were we talking about? Oh, right. Money, success. It's just...
Tamika, can you hear me?
Well, drat. Hold on, Cecil. Seems she's still up and about. This'll just take a second.
Lady, I've trained for months. I've taken down your helicopters with only a slingshot. I've looked at a librarian right in the area where most creatures would have eyes. You do not scare me.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Where did all these children come from?
It doesn't matter. What matters is that in a few moments, you will start running as fast as you can in the direction of Desert Bluffs. All right, book club, books as clubs, go!
No. No. May the smiling God show me mercy. No, I give up. Ow, I'm going.
Well done, young Ms. Flynn.
I'm securing this frequency. We'll keep broadcasting instructions from here. Stay vigilant, Night Vale.
Thank you, Tamika. Listeners, Night Vale is coming alive. After weeks of the company picnic, the citizens are remembering who they are. They are members of a pseudo-democracy run by lizard kings through a Byzantine maze of puppet governments and paperwork. A crowd of those grinning StrexCorp drones surrounded one of the winged, not angels, who was wearing a hand-tailored suit coat, but was otherwise totally nude. But then, Leanne Hart, managing editor of the Night Vale Daily Journal, hacked her way through the crowd with a hatchet.
Leanne loves those hatchets. One of my favorite episodes is episode 62. It's called Hatchets. I love it so much.
I am imagining you all as news bloggers. You are destroying years of journalistic tradition. And then, at the urging of Sarah Sultan, the president of the Night Vale Community College, Leanne then threw Sarah at the few remaining Strex workers.
Because remember, Sarah's a river rock.
Who were still intact. Sarah, who is a smooth, fist-sized river rock,
that's all the order's
hit
done.
her target magnificently before bouncing off.
But we're not even at the end of part A yet, so I'll find other stuff to do, because we're not stopping watching.
Somewhere. And so, this Erica, who looked both wealthy and mostly nude, was saved. Wait. I'm seeing a flickering, listeners, and this flickering is becoming a shape. And this shape...
The shape?
This shape is becoming a woman.
Hello, Cecil? It's me, Dana.
Dana, why haven't you returned to Night Vale?
I will soon, I think. But there is something here that has me worried. That rumbling is getting louder, and the light on the horizon is quite close. I can feel heat, but I am not warm. The more the heat grows, the colder I feel. It is a terrible light, and it is so close now.
The smiling god.
I feel as though the universe is unraveling. Plus, I found someone here in the desert.
Don't worry, Green.
Hi, Cecil.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I would so recommend the live shows.
I am manifesting myself in your radio station for both personal and not personal reasons.
Carlos! Oh, thank the imperfect heavens. I haven't seen you in weeks. I didn't know where you had gone.
So, when I entered the house that does not exist, I found myself in this other desert world. But something happened to my team of scientists, and there was no one to let me back out. Then I couldn't even find the door. Eventually, your friend Dana found me.
Now, Carlos, why did you not call? Or Snapchat? Or reblog any of my wood carvings of Koshak?
Wood carvings?
I worked really hard on those.
Cecil, how would I do that? I'm in the middle of a desert that is not of this world.
Oh.
There's no cell towers or Wi-Fi or any kind of communication system. Plus, I have to save my battery until I can find my way back to...
Oh, no, your phone totally works here.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Also, I haven't charged my phone in like a year. The battery never ran down.
Oh.
Is that a Samsung?
No. No, same one you got.
Oh.
Wow.
And the Wi-Fi is pretty decent too. Just
He's like, you didn't tell me that earlier?
Oh, look at that. Cecil, I'm on your Tumblr right now.
Which I love them being like, of course he has to have a Tumblr because that's where the fandom grew from was from Tumblr.
And I gotta say, the artwork is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, time is pretty messed up, so sometimes you reply to emails before they're even sent to you, but other than that...
Now, Carlos, how do I get you home? Dana, how do we get Carlos home? I would like Carlos to come home.
I'll be able to very soon. I am working on inventing something right now.
Carlos, do not get distracted by your work. Your personal life is more important. You need to learn to have this healthy balance. I thought you were getting better at this.
Every time the doors are open, it lets that terrible light into Night Vale.
That's true, yeah. Every time they open a door, the risk of the Smiling God invading Night Vale gets higher.
And the light is so close now, we can't risk it.
Right. You're very smart. Cecil, you have very smart interns.
I know.
So, I'm building a highly scientific device to keep the light away from the doors. Now, the device looks a lot like a big umbrella, okay? But it is way more complex and scientific than that for reasons I do not have time to explain right now. My danger meter is in the red, and scientifically speaking, red is the most dangerous color.
Carlos, you're fading. Dana, where did Carlos go?
He's still here.
Dana, I can't see Cecil anymore.
He's still here. Carlos, thank you. I may get to see my mother and my brother again because of you. You are a hero.
I'm not a hero. I'm a scientist.
Well, then scientist will always be my word for hero.
What is he saying? I can't...
We should go. Tell Cecil we won't be long at all. The doors should be safe to open now. I just need to finish stabilizing the device.
Cecil, we have work to do, but we will be home soon.
Okay, I cannot wait to see both of you.
Like an hour or two max.
Did he say something? Was it cute?
Goodbye, Cecil.
Okay.
Virgil. You.
It is good to know we have such a talented former intern and a brilliant scientist working
Open
together.
your mouth.
Once again, listeners, I'm also getting several frantic phone calls that have reminded me it is also Election Day. So let's check in at the alley behind City Hall. Hiram, faceless old woman.
Your revolution is meaningless! I will burn all detractors! Yeah, Cecil, all of us are in agreement here. Me, my green head there, and them other three heads. Sure, just lump us all together as the other three.
Oh.
It's always just Gold talking away like he's the most important one, and sometimes Green yells something. Green and gold, green and gold. Also, please call me Violet. You always say purple, but I prefer violet.
You prefer violet?
Yeah. So also my gray, blue, and violet heads there.
They prefer
anyway,
violet, don't detonate them.
We all agree that once we become mayor, this whole revolution, well, it's just sort of moot.
Green is the angry one. Gold is the cowboy. Violet's the one that always sounds in a state of constant anxiety. Green's the angry one. Blue, I think, is the depressed sounding one. And then Grey is the other one.
Drex Corp is still here, and the people want them gone. We'll just, throw some flames at the problem.
The real issue is getting these doors shut. There's a blinding light pouring from them, and it's causing the world to become translucent. We can hear a deep rumbling sound, which I do not like. The helicopters seem unaffected. I think a terrible thing is trying to come through. Something that's secrets I do not know. The unraveling of all things.
Unraveling of all things.
Fire breathing will solve none of this.
Basically, the angels are, the not angels. They just need to shut the doors when they're done going through them.
Yeah, what were they born in a barn?
Well, according to religious texts, yes.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, pause. I'm gonna go back to drawing vocaloid stickers. What started as, I'm only gonna draw a few, has quickly become too many. And then also, I was like, I should go back and fill in the blanks, actually, I should do all of them. I don't know if I shall do all of them. The problem is this will be too many to even if I do all of them, it'll be too many to put in one listing. So I might have to split them up over 2 listings. This is not... I spent this morning drawing Leon and Lola. They don't even have canonical appearances. They're just lips. I hate having the completionist urge that I have, which is I've got to draw all of them. But I'll have to split them across 2 Etsy, because you can only have a max of 70 drop-down options on Etsy. So it might just be Vocaloid 1 through 3 on one listing, and then 4 through 6 on another listing. But that wasn't what was gonna happen, because then I was also gonna do Uto Lloyds as well, but I don't know. Maybe I won't include the Leon and Lola ones, because again, they don't have canonical appearances, so I don't know how many people would even want. I can always draw them, but I don't have to include them as stickers. Well, I've already drawn them now. This is getting silly. Like, I'm considering drawing Sweet Anne. This is the only picture of Sweet Anne. She doesn't have a canonical body.
Did you not know that? I mean, that's pretty standard.
Anyway, I agree with Hiram. A revolution in the unraveling of the universe is all fine, but it would be great if you could cover the election more comprehensively. We've worked really hard.
Right.
All of us.
Yeah, I think I need to stop drawing all of them. I think I need to just pick a few more, because otherwise I could be here. Well, not just for a very long time, but also I think, if not, I'll end up drawing ones that people will never ever buy, and then it feels like, why did I spend time doing that? I don't know. I'm probably going to end up doing all of them anyway.
I will do my best. Or, well, actually, maybe not my best, but some level of effort. Well, thank you for the updates, both of you.
You got it.
Okay, when I'm streaming, Magma will, not let me move things with the arrow keys. I mean, it will, but it'll, crash doing it.
Listeners,
so it takes ages.
You heard the candidates. The doors are open,
Well,
and there is a powerful rumbling below the earth.
Well, we need to
and a
close
bright
them.
light turning everything translucent.
I know it's like, why don't you just drag it? And it's like, because I like them to be in line with each other.
Probably that's bad news.
I would say so, Cecil.
But, weather is weird here, so who knows? Oh, this is fantastic. A couple of old friends just came by the studio.
Howdy, Cecil.
Listeners, it is John Peters, you know, the farmer.
The farmer. Oh, hey, John, you got out of the house okay?
And intern Maureen?
Hi, intern Maureen. She's got free from when she blinked into the desert otherworld by drinking terrible, dangerous orange juice.
Yep, sure is.
Cecil, now Dana and your science fella, they helped us get out of that other desert place. I'm the one who found all those old oak doors, and Maureen here figured out that physically going back and forth between the two worlds was possible, but those two, they helped a bunch.
Great work, all of you. And, I'm so glad to get to see all of my lost friends again.
Well, I just stopped by to tell you that we have seen the rumbling in the desert. We have heard the bright light entering Night Vale. Cecil, that light, it is the great glowing coils of the universe unwinding. It is the unraveling of all things. It is a smiling God of terrible power.
Now, how do you know all of this, John?
Well, I was in 4-H club in high school. I'm a farmer, you know.
Yes, I do.
You learn all this kind of stuff in 4-H. Seemed obvious.
No, of course. I mean, yeah, of course. Now, Maureen, it is so nice to see you again. I mean, it's been how long?
Listen to me, you monster.
Oh.
I got you coffee, and I made mimeographs, and I sang sea shanties to the ants every single day. I even copy edited your Jaws /fic, even though that wasn't in the job description.
Cecil, it's fun.
I did. And then one day, get me some orange juice, Maureen. I mean, I won't even tell you how it's making people blink in and out of existence. And not only did it make me blink out of reality, but you didn't even want it when I brought it. Do you even know the mortality rate of your internship program?
I'm not terribly sure what you mean.
Chad, Jerry, Leland, Rob, Brad, Stacy, Richard, Paulo, Dylan, Vidya, and Ziv. Do you know what they all have in common?
They all got great training for a future career in radio?
No.
Oh, they're all dead, Cecil.
That's not it at all. They're...
Oh, excuse me. Speaking of interns, intern Jeremy had a recent run-in with the Scorpions in the break room. And will be missed. Oh, hey, now that you're back home, are you still looking for college credit?
Yeah.
Oh. Great. Can you
Maureen.
start today?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Thank you for stopping by, John.
Oh, sure thing, Cecil. Beware the unraveling of all things and support your local farmers.
Yes. And Maureen, can you just pop down to the library and do some research on smiling gods for me?
Fine.
Great.
So they got those two back, but Carlos not back yet because he's still like, well, I that's great that he wants to be a hero and all that, but like you got to get yourself home too, bud. Like he gets so wrapped up in his work, which obviously we saw throughout. You kind of got hints of throughout the trying to get together, which is Carlos is just very oblivious to stuff that's not his job.
Listeners, if John and Maureen are back, then that must mean that the doors are working again, and this is fantastic news. I am now receiving reports that the rumbling is growing louder.
That's not good.
And people are saying that they can feel it in their feet and in their teeth. And they are becoming forgetful, and objects are becoming transparent. The darkness of Night Vale is washing away. And what are we, Night Vale, without darkness, without
I'm just gonna give Sweet Anne like a
shadows, and
punchy
without
like a dress, because that's the vibe I'm getting
Listeners,
from the head.
there is someone knocking on my station door, which must mean Carlos. Carlos, is that you?
End of part A.
You gotta cut it there. Oh, sorry. That is not Night Vale. I had the shuffle button on.
Hi, this is Joseph Fink, and once again, what you are about to hear is not a typical Night Vale episode. This is the second part of the recording of our second anniversary live show, performed before a sold-out crowd at Town Hall in New York City. So if you haven't heard the first part, go back and listen to that, or this won't make a great deal of sense. But before you do that, listen to this intro, because I'm about to say some news that, depending on where you are in the world, might be of great interest to you. Before I say that news, let me just...
Is this when they announced the... Did you have to wait when that came out originally? Yeah, there were 15 days before part 1 and part 2, yeah. This is also why then I was getting so hyped when I was listening to part 2, when I was downstairs when my ceiling was leaking, because I think this is where they announced their first ever European tour, and I was so excited because I was like, oh my god, I could see them, because they came to England, but I didn't go see them because I didn't have anyone to go with, and I didn't want to be on my own coming back from a Night Vale show, like... 15 years old in the dark in the night.
Remind you that we are right now, the day this episode is released, on tour in Canada and the US. I think if you're listening to this on the first day, we were in Toronto, maybe. we're going to be hitting several cities, as well as DashCon in Schaumburg, Illinois, and San Diego Comic-Con.
No, you won't be.
Where we will be doing a big crossover show with the Thrilling Adventure Hour. Go to welcometonightvale.com and click on shows to see the full schedule and get tickets to any or, all of these shows. Go crazy. Okay, here's the news. I am thrilled to be able to say that we are doing a tour of the UK and Europe.
Yes, okay, that's why I remember being so hyped as well. Not just because the episodes were good, but because I was so excited about the idea that I would be able to see them, maybe. But then I didn't, because I didn't know anyone to go with, and I went on my own.
This October and November. We will be hitting, let me look at the list. Okay, Dublin, Manchester, Birmingham, London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Stockholm, Oslo.
Oh, we said Edinburgh.
Copenhagen, Helsinki, Paris, Hamburg, Amsterdam, Cologne, Munich, and Berlin.
Pronounced Edinburgh.
Okay, apologies if I just murdered the name of your city, but tickets are going on sale this Friday, July 4th. It's unbelievable
better than when people say
to us that we
Edinburgh.
get to take this live show
Like
we've
burger.
been building to all of you there. So grab these tickets before they go. Welcome to nightvale.com.
Edinburgh.
Click on shows.
I've heard people mispronounce it as Edinburgh, which at least makes sense. It's Edinburgh. But I've heard Edinburgh before, and I'm like, what?
Recordings of our last 2 live shows for sale. Still pay what you want on nightvale.bandcamp.com or on iTunes for $1.99. 2 hours of new material with guests and live music. Check them out. Let's see. What's going on in our new store? Well, a new Dark Owl Records t-shirt, it's amazing, and a new If You See Something, Say Nothing and Drink to Forget flask, amazing. Pretty much your last chance to buy campaign stuff, so do that. And we have even more stuff coming in the course of July, including a new shirt by the same person, Jessica Hayworth, who designed our Scary Deer shirt. A new secret item that you'll see very soon, designed by Kate Leth, who did all our scout badges. And for those hot summers, Night Vale tank top. So go to welcometonightvale.com and click on store if you like things. Hey, if you like what we do here with our show, and you want to help us see through walls and then help us stop seeing through walls before we seriously hurt ourselves on an unseen wall, well, please consider signing up for a small monthly donation. We really do depend on all of you. Those who donate a little more get a special personal audio thank you from Cecil himself. He records it just for you. Go to welcometonightvale.com and click on donate to do that thing. This has been Joseph Fink. Is Joseph Fink. Will always be Joseph Fink. Now, allow me to take you back to the show in progress. You remember the show, right? I believe it ended with...
Without darkness, without shadows, and without secrets. Listeners, there is someone knocking on my station door, which must mean Carlos. Carlos, is that you? Come in and welcome home my sweet cart. No. No, 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 no. No.
Cecil, I was in the neighborhood and I wanted to stop by.
No. Steve Carlsberg. You do not get to just stop by the studio. You are not a radio professional.
All right, fair, but I've been driving in circles around your station all day listening to the show, and it got me thinking. You know, John Peters, you know, the farmer?
Yes, I do know.
He was like, hey, y'all, there's a smiling God and the world is unraveling because I was in 4-H club. And he's mostly right. But I think that it's not a smiling God, but a secret underground missile testing site.
No, listen, the secret underground missile testing site is below the rec center, Steve.
Well, it's like the faceless old woman recently said while campaigning. She said, I'm replacing all of your digital photo albums with classified pictures of secret missile testing sites. I think the faceless old woman understands what's really going on, whereas Hiram is like, well, I can't really be bothered with looking into government overspending because I am literally a 5-headed dragon.
I think Steve's voice actor might be the same as Hiram.
And then his blue head is like, when you consider the mathematics, there's no benefit to us. And then Gray says, thinking about government interference makes me sad.
Oh no, Gray's the sad one.
And Violet says, we must be free above all. We must be free and also above all other
Steve,
things.
we get
and
it.
then his last head just keeps roaring and saying, your body burns quickly, soft human protesters.
Steve is a conspiracy theorist, but you gotta remember that in Night Vale, that's not, like, I know here would be like, oh no, but like, over there, To be honest, the reality is often way weirder than whatever conspiracy theory you can come up with. Steve's trying to provide rational explanations for things, basically. Steve is like, what if it's not aliens? What if it's just, you know, what if that picture was not a ghost? What if it was just a blur on your camera? He's that guy, apart from in Night Vale it probably actually was a ghost.
But really, I was thinking about what your boyfriend Carlos said.
Don't you dare, Steve Carlsberg.
So, he said,
I'm certain I can stop the light from entering Night Vale.
Steve.
I have a simple device that will protect us.
I am not dating a munchkin from The Wizard of Oz. That's not, no.
Does not.
You sure?
I'm quite sure.
All right. Fair enough, but look, he's, and no offense, Cecil, but he's an outsider. He's not from here.
Right, but he's lived there for like 2 years now.
How do we know he's not part of the super underground secret military government that is testing missiles?
Steve Carlsberg, did you just accuse my boyfriend of being a secret operative?
Well, yeah.
Because that'd be pretty cool, actually. That'd be awesome.
It's dangerous awesome.
But it is, nevertheless, it is not true, Steve. Plus, how many times do I have to tell you that there is nothing secret about the secret missile testing?
Yeah, that's the thing. The secret missile testing, you may think the plot twist is, no, it's just not secret. Like, it's Night Vale.
It is as American as using drug-laced apple pie to test the effects of hallucinogens on innocent citizens.
I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through the Vocaloid wiki to look at reference pictures, and I have never seen Charlie before in my life. Who the fuck is Charlie? Who is this? Apparently his name is Charlie. He's a Yamaha Vocaloid. Who is Charlie? Who the fuck is this? It's a Japanese communication robot developed by Yamaha utilizing Vocaloid technology to speak and sing. Hello, Charlie. Okay, anyway, moving on.
I think he brings up a good point, Cecil.
You. How did you get in here?
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, thanks, interloper. Whoa, cool eyes.
Oh, thank you. I wish I could say the same. Cecil, listen, it's hard to get work done when there's all this fighting. And it's hard to smile when there's no working. And if we aren't smiling, then what value do we have?
Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry you've been taught that.
Watch me smile.
No, no. No, no thank you. I really like you, but no.
You monster.
That was really gross. Do it again.
Steve.
Look at how much better we all feel from that. But right now, no one is being productive. There are angels.
Actually, there's not. There's not a thing.
And a desert army out there battling. For what? For hooded figures? For forbidden dog parks? For a glow cloud?
All hail.
For the constant terror of a secret police who can invade your home at any time without so much as a letter from Human Resources?
But they are our hooded figures, and it is our glow cloud. All hail. And this is our town, and it is terrible. But it is ours, and we are fighting for it.
I used to feel that way about Desert Bluffs.
Oh, you did? Oh no! What happened, Kevin?
So many secrets and conspiracies and darkness in our days. It all felt so important, so permanent. But then we met the smiling god.
You were brainwashed for a religious cult?
It was
I was looking on the Kevin tag. I didn't see major spoilers, but I do hope whatever's going on with Kevin now in Night Vale that he gets some sort of ending that is nice, and not that he ends up becoming the biggest baddest villain. Because a lot of people really identify with Kevin, especially a lot of queer listeners, especially those who've gone through religious abuse, really identify with Kevin. So I hope that whatever's going off currently in Night Vale, that Kevin does not become like the new big bad. I hope. I would some sort of peace for him would be nice, or he gets to try and learn to be better. I would really like that.
Wonderful! The sun stopped setting. Or maybe there wasn't a sun anymore. Maybe there was just that other brighter light. Who knows? I do know that I couldn't stop smiling. None of us could. And our smiles seemed better, fuller,
Kevin.
wider.
No.
Soon we had no need for government cover-ups or secrets. Everything was transparent. Literally. You could see through everything and everyone. The bones, the blood, the scurrying insects inside every human body. There was so much work to be done. And such a wonderful company to do it for. Even the ones that resisted the most at first soon found that they loved.
It is Kevin who says the line, and I know it might make him seem really bad, but just remember that he's been brainwashed. Remember that.
The smiling god more than anyone. Even the most resistant of radio hosts.
See. And some people still thought after this episode that Kevin was just, like, willingly evil, and I'm like, did you guys not listen to the part of Old Oak Doors where he said even the person who resisted the most in Desert Bluffs got brainwashed? Even the most resistant of radio hosts got brainwashed. He's the only radio host in Desert Bluffs. He didn't want this. He didn't want to become this. He didn't want the Smiling God or Strex Corp. And there were still people for quite until Triptych came out who were still like, no, I hate him. And I'm like, okay, you're allowed to hate him, but like to then therefore be like, and he's just, no, I don't believe that he was brainwashed. Like, oh, I mean,
Soon
but he
found
was though.
his way to productive work, happy songs, and a wide, gaping smile. So, let's do this together, Cecil. Believe with me in a smiling God, the greater Night Vale and Desert Bluffs metropolitan area, a town with not one, but two happy, helpful voices.
Listeners, Kevin has just opened up the studio door, only it is not the studio door. It is an oak door, and,
oh no.
and light, a blinding light is pouring in, and everything is becoming translucent.
Do you see, friends? The beautiful majesty of living as one under the unrelenting love of a smiling God.
Wow, I mean, it's a very pretty light. You know, that company picnic of yours sure wasn't fun, but I got more done in 2 weeks than in the rest of my life combined.
No, Steve, what are you saying? No!
Kevin, before I step into your weird light, let me ask you about schools real fast. Now, my stepdaughter Janice is 10 years old, and the elementary schools are okay, but I don't know if I can afford to send her to private school when she's a
Say
little
no more, Steve Carlsberg. Desert Bluff schools are top-notch. Young Janice can take college prep courses as early as 12. Our charter schools even have great medical programs where they can heal her of all her problems.
I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Yeah, Janice's uncle here. What do you mean by heal her?
She can't walk, right?
Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
since birth.
she can't.
Well, rather than build all those crazy ramps and elevators, we just fix people so that they can become better and more productive.
No.
You are awful and gross, and I was only being polite about your eyes. They are weird. Now you listen to me.
Listeners, Steve Carlsberg has just picked up Kevin by his blood-stained lapels.
You will not change my hometown. You will not change my stepbrother. And Kevin of Desert Bluffs, you will not change or fix or do anything at all to my little girl.
And Steve is carrying him to the open oak door, and he just pushed him through into that blinding, awful light.
Oh, smile!
And Kevin is gone.
I did not like that guy very much.
Me neither. Thanks, Steve.
Anything for my girl. Try and tell me there's something about her needs fixing.
You know, Steve, we have our differences. So many differences. More differences
Yeah, I
than
understand
not.
what
Yes.
you're saying about the differences.
But I am glad that you are there to take care of Janice. And she could do a lot worse.
Especially gonna get.
Cecil.
Oh. No, never again. No, please leave my studio and just stop barging in here with your stupid ideas about the world.
Okay, I'll see you around, Cecil.
Great.
Bye, Steve.
Oh, hey there, Steve Carlsberg. Aren't you important looking?
But yeah, we're gonna pause for a sec, because gosh, more people just need to fucking. I hope everyone's okay. I'm sorry if that scene was triggering to anyone. No, Steve's talking. I think Steve's talking to himself. Green. He's just talking to himself. But I wish more people listened to Night Vale. Because, yeah, I mean, yes. Like, please make your places more accessible instead of trying to, you know, like, it's very clear, like, Strixcorp is in the wrong. For instead of actually just making places more accessible, they instead just want to stop people from being able to be disabled. Eugenics, basically. They want, you know, in a way, like, just make things accessible. There's nothing wrong with Janice. There's nothing about her that needs fixing. And I know, it's like, how... Before you judge me, be like, oh, you love Kevin and he said that. I want to remind people that he is brainwashed at this point. So, like, you know, I don't want to spoil further episodes, but we will see Kevin flashbacks. And he was not always like this. So I don't want people thinking, oh my god, you like this terrible person. Like, look, trust me. Which also, a lot of people also think that Kevin himself, I don't know if this is canon or if it's headcanon, that Kevin himself also was disabled and had been quote-unquote, you know, fixed by Strix. I don't remember if that is canon or not. I know a lot of people headcanon it. I mean, if he was, he would have been. But Anyway, well, Kevin gone now. Bye-bye, Kevin. Kevin in the desert otherworld. I love that moment for Steve. I love that moment for him. How far through the part 2 are we? Ooh, we're not even halfway. Still got quite a bit left to go.
Dana!
Oh no, okay, he was saying hi to someone.
Dana, you're actually back in the studio.
Dana's here for realsies.
This is not just an image or an apparition.
Hope she brought friends.
I am. I'm home.
She deserves it. She's been trapped in that dog park for like a year.
Our time and space
have met again, but also I will imply, like, what is a year? For, like, to Night Vale, Dana's been gone a year. For Dana, it's been, like, 10. And so time is weird.
finally meet again.
Oh, this is a happy, happy day.
I am so glad to see you too, Cecil. But I also came back to talk to the whole city.
Oh, Dana.
People of Night Vale, there is a light drowning out our sun and our minds. But there are angels and an army of masked warriors fighting back this terrible menace. Night Vale, stay safe. Stay home and do not get caught in the dangerous crossfire. The Desert Army and the angels, they are here to save us.
People of Night Vale.
Oh, Dana. I'm sorry, Dana, but I think that's Tamika Flynn from her secret broadcast site.
People of Night Vale, hear me.
Tamika? The Tamika Flynn? Oh, hi, I'm Dana. I have heard so much about you. You are an inspiration. You are a hero.
Thank you, Dana, but I am not a hero. Or we all are. Or the word has no meaning. We must all save our town and ourselves. People of Night Vale, I'm calling you to arms. There are beings claiming to be angels, and this foreign army of giants fighting. Why can't we?
Well, yes, that's good, but...
People of Night Vale.
Oh.
Angels are definitely real. They are powerful and recently very wealthy, and they are tough to kill, unlike humans who die easily and unexpectedly all the
Tamika's like, we should fight. But Dana's like, maybe let the angels fight, and then not as many of us will die.
time from all sorts of little causes. Just wait and let them save us.
Ah, I see.
People of Night Vale, do not be defined by how you can die, but how you can live. It is like the great writer and orator Booker T. Washington once said, in all things social, we can be as separate as fingers, yet one as the hand in all things essential to destroying a smiling God.
Stay safe, Night Vale. Stay indoors, and we will broadcast to let you know when it's all over.
Get out there, Night Vale. Grab anything you can and fight. Grab a slingshot and a book, say an Amy Bender short story collection or Milorad Pavich's Dictionary of the Causers. Or, if not a book, grab a rock. Or the throwing stars that come standard in most issues of McSweeney's. Grab anything you can and fight. Do not believe in heroes, believe in citizens. Be a citizen.
Dana, I know that you have planned this well, and you are incredibly smart,
All right,
but
it's
I
fine.
think Tamika might be right.
Not a big deal.
No, I think we have to
brought two
all
different
do this
armies
together, and
whatever.
He's like, no, it's whatever's fine. I just spent all this time, like, getting peace between the angels and the mouse people, but it's fine.
and let us not repeat our sin of inaction. I mean,
Dana.
oh, it has grown so bright, and I cannot see much, but what I can see is nearly transparent, and I'm forgetting, and everything is coming apart, and I can see the great glowing coils of the universe unwinding. Night Vale, our time is now. Let us raise our fists and shout. I can almost hear it. I can almost hear a crowd shouting, "Take down Strex." I can almost hear that crowd, but I cannot quite
hear
them. They need to raise their hands and shout it louder. They need to shout, "Take down Strex." Every single one of them, "Take down Strex." Louder, "Take down Strex." And they scream it, "Take down Strex." And then they stop, not because they do not care, but because they are people that are far away and not part of this story. They are part of a different story, a different fiction. But realizing this, they all shrug and sadly murmur to each other, "Take down Strex? Take down Strex? Yeah, take down Strex." And then they are quiet, and they hope for that rarest element of all. They hope for the best. But in this story, in this fiction, I hear the sound of Night Vale fighting back. And as the light of this smiling god grows brighter, and as the shouts of this defiant Night Vale grow louder, and as I reach for my own personal copy of Kate Chopin's The Awakening, well, more specifically for the tear gas canisters that came attached to the hardback edition, I take all of you, all of us that are fighting, all of us together, all of us to the weather.
I'll play the weather. Hopefully we won't get in trouble. We're gonna have the full experience.
Last night, old friend, big wedding, and I know you'll be there too. Look at us, all grown up, collared shirts and high heel shoes. You cross the room, just the decent thing to do. Make sure we'd all been introduced. You brought your new friend, I brought mine. Shake hands, fake courtesy, let's do. But it takes its toll, and it takes it. We've lived so long, too close. So call off your You're asking, can't we just be friends? But this bell in my chest still rings, and it's better to just pretend that I can't see you waving, can't hear you call my name. I know how much you hate it, babe, I gotta walk away. You once said if we were careful that we could do this all our lives. Oh, but one of us got clumsy, both of us got wise, and now we're not so young since our wishing wells won't cry. We've been living too long, too close, and I'm ready to let you go. I'm ready. Call off your go. Call off your go.
I'm gonna do a solo project even though most people like their redesigns more. I like their original! Not just because I'm biased, because their original designs were drawn by Yoshitaka Amano, aka the illustrator, designer of Vampire Hunter D. But like, they just look like anime boys now. The original one looks so much cooler. It was nice to have a different art style.
It's just a lot to ask to watch your future walking past me. And I know that jealousy's a perfect waste of time.
You don't really get
But
different
left
art
to my
styles that when it comes to
devices,
vocaloids.
I've spent far too long wasting mine. got to go wasting life.
I don't mind some of the later pieces as well. This one's okay, but
We've been living too long, too close, and I'm ready to let you go. I'm ready. Call off your ghost, call off your ghost. And we've been living too long, too close, and I'm ready to let you go. I'm ready.
it's gonna get more this week again. It's gonna get to 24 by the end of the week.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Cecil Palmer. I'm off doing some important journalistic work. Or maybe just petting Koshek. But either way, leave me a message.
Cecil, hey, it's Carlos.
Hi, Carlos.
I
So Dana's back. You came back with her,
I
right?
hate that I got your voicemail, but listen, I figured it out. So we can't shut the oak doors unless everyone is back where they belong. And every moment...
Fuck, sorry, I forgot. I forgot about that stipulation.
those doors are open, more of that light gets through into Night Vale. I couldn't figure out why.
You know, so obviously that's why, like, they couldn't close the doors until, like, Dana was back from the Desert Otherworld, because she's not supposed to be in the Desert Otherworld. That was such an honest reaction, Virgil. I remember when I say I remember where everyone ends up, I mean that. I just don't remember why and how they get there. And I'm like, oh no.
We couldn't just keep the doors closed for good. And it was really frustrating to have a problem I couldn't solve. And then I got sad because I couldn't solve it. But then I did solve it, and I felt so happy.
I mean, I am like that. Like, if there's something I can't understand or solve, I get real
So those
frustrated.
are some, but not all of the emotions that I had. Here is what I found. Night Vale is a place that is difficult to leave and difficult to enter. And connecting a place as weird as that with a place as weird as this was causing a lot of strain on linear time and space. So, those native to Night Vale, Dana...
But Steve just pushed Kevin in the Desert Otherworld. True, but Kevin's not native to Night Vale, though.
John, the angry woman in the intern shirt, all had to return home. And the masked army all had to come back here, which they did. Just moments ago, the last of them came back through the door.
I think with Kevin, it's just that, like, as you have to not be from Night Vale. I don't think it's specifically, I guess just everyone... I don't know why Kevin doesn't have to go back to Desert Bluffs, but it just has to be that he's not in Night Vale.
It is so exciting when you make a scientific discovery like that.
But,
I was very happy.
So, you know, all of the Dana and everyone's back in Night Vale, you know, and John and all that, and to Maureen, and now all the Masked Army has come back to the Desert Otherworld. But if all of them have...
But then, as the last of the masked army members came through the door, it slammed shut.
Before Carlos could leave, the door closed. Once all the masked army were back. Why would that be? I'm sorry, Green. Why would that be, chat?
And vanished.
The doors vanished.
And I remembered that I am not from Night Vale.
Carlos isn't from Night Vale.
I remembered that as far as the laws of the universe are concerned, it is not where I belong.
It is!
Cecil, I don't even remember how I got to Night Vale in the first place. I mean, where is Night Vale even? But I promise I will find a way back. It'll just take a couple of days, a week max. I'll be fine. I'm a scientist. Cecil. A scientist is usually fine. Maybe a few weeks, I don't know. The upside is Dana was right. I have had 97% battery all day and decent reception. So we'll at least get to talk every night.
That's something, but they'll
Best
have to
of luck at home.
long distance. They can
I
still
love
talk,
you.
but it. Sorry, I talked over him saying I love you. I think that's the first time he says I love you. They will just be long distancing for a while. It's better than nothing.
The upside is Dana was right.
I'll
I
rewind,
have
'cause
had
I think that's the
97%
first time he
battery
ever says I
all
love
day
you.
and decent reception. So we'll at least get to talk every night. Best of luck at home. I love you.
I'm too sad to draw.
Listeners, Night Vale fought together. Every citizen. High school football coach Nazar Al-Mujahid, in response to the Strex workers' ghastly smiles, showed them that thing that he can do with his tongue, which made many of them stop smiling and run screaming away. A balaclava-clad man wearing a mitre, cloak, and a giant silver star, and speaking through a vocoder, you know, the man that we all believe to be the sheriff of Night Vale, was dropping heavy bricks down on the invaders from his hover office.
I always thought he was cool, the sheriff.
In the clouds.
I don't know why, when I was a kid.
Simone Rigido, the transient who lives in the Earth Sciences building at the community college, found some experimental fish in the lab closet and put them into the fuel tanks of the yellow helicopters, which were already incapacitated by several plastic bags that had blown out of the forbidden.
Because if you guys remember in season 1, episode, let me go see, episode 10, Feral Dogs. The whole episode, they report that there's a feral dog pack on the loose, and then at the end they're like, oh, never mind, Pamela said it was just some plastic bags that got loose.
Dog park. And then, you know, wrap themselves up in the rotors. And old woman Josie and her supposed angel friends protected the empty lot where she plans to rebuild Night Vale's old opera house. The Strex attackers were picked up by her winged friends and flown far into the sky, higher than even the sheriff's hover office. And, of course, a group of teenagers led by Tamika Flynn chased out everyone at Strex Corp headquarters by slingshotting copies of Stephen Covey's best-selling self-help book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the civilization of tiny people living below Lane 5 of the Desert Flower Bowling Alley and Arcade Fun Complex. Well, they did something.
Probably.
I'm not terribly sure, but, you know, because they're too tiny to be noticed amid all the action. Which is to say, Strex has retreated.
Hi, Hasta, welcome in.
And the blood-covered office workers are gone. And the old oak doors, they're also gone.
Yeah, they are,
And with them, that penetrating, vicious light, and we are safely in darkness once again. A very wealthy-looking and mostly nude being named Erica, who introduced themselves as, you know, an angel or whatever. then wrote a check to purchase Strex Corp. And while they are not technically for sale, there was no one to decline the offer. So, according to American business law, that is a legal acquisition. It is not yet known what the Angels will do with the vast corporation they now own. And I think, at last, we are ourselves.
Yep, that's how that works.
We are Night Vale, once again.
Seems to check your phone.
Even here at the station, the Office of Station Management now is just a stone slab covering a dark cave.
The main theme version,
A pulsing red glow around its edges,
wrote new music for
filling
this
my
live show.
mind with sad and monstrous visions when I walk past the door. So it seems like our old management is back in charge.
Welcome back, Station Management, you weird creature.
And that is... well, I think that's a good thing. I think. I mean, it's possible that that is, in fact, terrifying news. So, I think, I guess, we won.
Cecil, honey, check your
Speaking
phone.
of winning.
Yes!
The election! Right.
The election. Okay. Well, it looks like we didn't quite get all of the votes in yet, so we are going to speed things up. Listeners, wherever you are listening to this, just follow along. When I say the name of the candidate you prefer, raise your hand. So, I will say the name, you raise your hand, and the cameras that are everywhere in town watching your every move will count your vote. So, raise your hand to vote for Hiram McDaniels.
I trust that five-headed dragon. He cares.
Oh, I thought there would be more. Do they not like me? Raise your hands for me!
I have that I vote for Hiram shirt, so I have to stick with my allegiance that I had 11 years ago.
All right. Okay, hands down. Now,
I just thought
raise
dragons
your
were cool.
hand for the faceless
No offense
old
to the faceless old
woman who
woman.
secretly
I just
lives
thought
in
dragons
your
were
home.
cool, even if he might burn everything to the ground.
I am in your home at this very moment. I am, in a way, your guest. It would be
So she
rude
scares
as a
me.
host if you did not raise
She
your
scares
hand
me
for
more. At least I
while
can
was
see
sitting
Hiram
right
coming,
there,
you know?
unseen next to you.
I can dodge
It
him.
might make me angry.
Look at you.
I've never been angry.
Precious thing.
Okay.
I wonder what I'm like when I'm angry. It will be interesting
to
for
be
us
a
to
baby
find out
dragon
together
now.
if you do not raise your hand for me.
Oh,
Here I am.
okay,
Hello.
great. Hands down. Now, I am fairly certain that some of you voted for both. And thus negated yourselves. You'll know if one of your friends did this because they will soon fade from existence forever. Anyway, that's all the votes in, but of course, none of the votes matter.
Because that's not how it works. They've told us before.
Because the election is decided by the pulses coming from Hidden Gorge.
Hidden Gorge, not Raven
I
Canyon.
am now being handed the results by an election official in full uniform, a plague doctor mask, an off-brand Snuggie.
Something I want to mention. I love Cecil. When Cecil describes his outfits, especially as you get further into the show, they are so eclectic and strange. And I love when people draw them. Cecil's got the wildest fashion sense. And I'm not making fun. I love that he just dresses however he wants.
And stilts. And the next mayor of Night Vale is...
I just want to thank every person who voted for me. You're all winners in my book. And we've recorded all of your names right here in this book.
I just ate one of your highlighters. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I'll replace it with a crow's feather just as soon as I am mayor.
Oh, well, It says here that the next mayor of Night Vale is Dana Cardinal.
We don't have to keep our mouths shut anymore, Virgil. We're free. Hello, era of Mayor Dana. Dana's mayor for at least as long as I kept listening to Night Vale.
Cecil.
That's why she had a suit in the future, Green. That's why she looks important in the future. God, because it's like I keep almost slipping up and saying stuff about Dana because I'm just like fuck no, because she's mayor for at least as long as I listened to Night Vale, so many more seasons.
I get obnoxious about this, but it's pronounced Hiram. That wasn't even close.
I know. I'm sorry. This must be a disappointment to you both, but I'm just reading what the Gorge has decreed.
Your former intern, Dana? But she wasn't even a candidate.
Yeah,
And she's so young and not ancient.
Well, Dana, the intern who came home, it is like I told you once, you were always important.
This is unacceptable!
Yeah, and Cecil also told, she's like, I'm no one, but Cecil also tried to tell her in an earlier episode about that, is that of course she's always important, and she'd still be important even if she wasn't mayor.
Prepare to burn!
And that you were always somebody, and now age has uncovered the you that was all... Okay, Hiram, please. I'm in the middle of doing something right now. It's the you that it's the you that always was, but I can't remember what I said.
She can't be mayor. She is a murderer. She killed her own double.
Well, now, I don't know if murder should necessarily disqualify someone from being irrelevant. There is a 50% chance that the victim was Dana original and not Dana double. Oh yeah, thanks, Blue. Forget that other thing I was saying about the murder. She has no proof that she is not a double of herself.
That's right, there's no proof of...
Everybody knows that being a double is one of the few manifestations of reality that cannot be Night Vale mayor. I do not accept these results. I am continuing my campaign, and I will make sure that Dana does not stay mayor for long.
And I find myself agreeing with the faceless old woman. We will not rest until one of us is rightfully mayor.
That is true.
Or until Night Vale burns to ashes and fumes.
Okay, Green.
Exactly, Green, yes.
Now, I really must object to all of this.
Come, Hiram. You and I have planning to do.
Yeah.
There's a plot point for season 3.
Well, once again, it's just you and me, listeners.
Cecil, honey, check your phone.
The bustle of this day
Cecil?
has come
Cecil, baby, check your
and
phone.
gone.
Cecil,
and
please.
now there is the quiet night.
Cecil.
The universe is unraveling. It still is. We won the day. We won the battle. We won whatever unit of measurement you care to say that we won. We returned to the dangerous equilibrium we had before, which we can only assume or hope or wish is better. But
Does Hiram stick around? Yes, he does.
We did not stop the unraveling of the universe.
I remember what happens with Hiram, and I no spoilers, but I will cry. I will cry. I don't remember if it's the end of season 3 or 4. I don't know if it's season 3 or 4 it happens, but it's so fucked up. Because I can't help but think, I'm like, but how does that affect the rest of him? Like, I can't say, but it, like, would keep me up at night at the time. I'd be like, but what does that mean for, how does he work? Anyway.
The universe is not a thing that is. It is not a thing at all. It is the very action of its going. It
Cecil,
is, in fact, its own dissolves, and our lives, the entire span of human existence going back
Imagine the sunset
and back and...
But I mean, like, physically wise, like, is still there?
And forward.
And is it just...
The entire span is spent
would you,
within
get
this
rid?
dissolve.
I don't...
So look
That used to
at
keep
the
me up.
fleeting stars
What?
with
I have to.
fleeting
That's
eyes.
a bit graphic.
And feel how the earth beneath
Like,
you gives.
let's not go that far. But,
is all
yeah, no, that
a
used to keep me up at
temporary
night after that
manifestation
episode.
of
When that
particle-
episode happened, I was like so fucked. Like that felt like more gross than anything that had ever happened in Night Vale because I just couldn't stop thinking about like, what is it? But that frankly was more disturbing than anything else because it doesn't mention it. It doesn't go into detail in the episode. But in my free time, I just be like, but what does that mean though? What? I couldn't stop imagining.
And it is
I gotta
all
stop imagining
unraveling
now, it'll
back
gross me out
to
again.
particulate silence. The bustle of the human day will come and will go. And then
I would
there
hope.
will
I
be
know it sounds bad, but I think you
night.
gotta get rid of it.
how
would be the way to
beautiful these moments within the dissolve. What a
Otherwise,
temporary
it's too gross to
perfection
think
we
about.
can find within this passing world. Everything good.
Yeah. Anyway,
ever
everything
done.
good. Anyway, Cecil, check your
Everything
phone.
good that was done
Cecil.
today. And all
Although time is weird, so maybe for Cecil, Carlos hasn't left the voicemail yet.
the good people doing it. And back and back and forward and forward.
we've connected the wrong
all
dots.
Of that
we tried to be
beauty
vague
within
green,
a universe
but there's
unraveling.
only yeah.
Be proud of your place in the cosmos. It is small.
It is a pretty triggering
and yet
thing
it
to think
is. How unlikely.
I don't want to go spoilers, but like it's pretty gross.
How fantastic
It's gonna make me so sad.
and stupid.
And also, I forgot. It might be this season. I want you guys to remember episode 37, the auction, because what I need. I told time what if I like look. What I need people to remember going into season 3. I'm sure you'll remember Strex and Kevin, and that Carlos is in the desert otherworld. But another plot point I need you to remember is episode 37, the auction, in which Cecil was sold at an auction and was bought, and he has no idea who bought him. At some point in season 3 or 4, we will find out who bought him. Cecil will start to have like blackouts, and boy. I loved. This is why I really love the first 3 seasons, because there's so many like interconnecting things. I know the auction hasn't been mentioned again. It will be mentioned again. So there's that going off. I don't know. I can't think anything else. The list gets brought back up in season 1. They asked you to remember a list. The list, you will need to remember it. In season 3, you won't need to.
Excellent.
But Night Vale residents
And-
should have. And?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It looks like I have a voicemail from Carlos.
Cecil.
He must have called during the weather. I apologize, listeners. I have to check this. So, stay tuned next for more of us and more of me until that inevitable distant
Does he not
point
check
where
it here?
I and this and everything must end. And as always,
Fuck.
good night.
I thought you checked it live.
Night Vale. Good night.
Good night, Cecil. He doesn't know yet that his boyfriend's trapped in a desert otherworld. And all the doors have gone.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Commonplace Books. It is written by Joseph Fink. And by Jeffrey Craner. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin. The voice of Hiram was Jackson Public.
Okay, if that wasn't the same voice actor as Steve, Steve does a good Hiram impression.
The voice of the faceless old woman was Mara Wilson. The voice of Deb was Nig Beschwiner. The voice of Lauren Mallard was Lauren Sharp. The voice of Kevin was Kevin R. Free. voice of Tamika was Symphony Sanders. The voice of Dana was Jessica Nicole.
That's Maya Dana.
The voice of Carlos was Dylan Marin. The voice of John Peters, you know, the farmer, was Mark Gagliardi. The voice of intern Maureen was Maureen Johnson. The voice of Steve was Hal Loveland.
Okay, it was the same as Hiram's voice actor. I was gonna say, is the same.
Original music by Disparition. Disparition is led by John Bernstein, featuring Deepthi Welaranta, Valerie Evering, and Mari Yamamoto. Today's weather was Call Off Your Ghosts by Dessa. Featuring Abby Wolf and Paper Tiger. Today's proverb. Wonderwall is the only 90s song visible from space.
We made
Hi,
it,
guys.
Hi.
So,
oh my god, it's
1
Joseph
year
Fink.
ago, we did a 1 year anniversary
The
party
real
at
Joseph
Night
Fink.
Vale in a bar
He's made it out of the cage he's trapped in.
in Lower Manhattan. There was 115 people there. I'm not great at math, but there's a little more than that tonight.
There is.
This is a thing that we love making, and we have loved making it since we started it 2 years ago, and we would love to continue making it, and whether it's for 115 people or for you people or for anywhere we can do it, and we just thank you for helping to make this happen. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
So first time we've heard Jeffrey speak.
Hi, this is Joseph.
No, Joseph.
Fink, only with my
Voice
voice pitched down 10% and gradually speeding up 20% as
That is the beginning of season 3. Oh, guys. We made it. But at the cost of Cecil and Carlos being separated and living in different planes of existence now. But they can still call every night. But Carlos can't come home. Yet. I promise everything will be okay. Just, Green, I told you in season 1 that I promised Carlos would be okay. I promise Carlos will be okay. I know it might not seem like it, but I promise it'll be okay. Is this gonna be me promising Carlos is gonna be fine every finale? I don't think anything bad happens to him in every finale. But ultimately, Carlos and Cecil will be okay. I've got to start downloading season 4 now. I only have up to the end of season 3 downloaded. Goodness gracious. I will say season 3 will be a little bit different. We'll be starting season 3 next week. It will be a little different in the middle because they took like the month of November off. So they didn't post any episodes apart from they did. So for November, instead of doing regular episodes, they did these 2 bonus episodes that were written by guest stars, and they're very different. Minutes, I think, is literally Cecil just reading, like, the minutes of, like, a school PTA meeting, and I don't remember what of the C is. But, we've got some exciting stuff coming up in season 3. We get the first of the monologues episodes, the September monologues. The monologues, yeah, a scientist is usually fine. The monologues is a recurring type of episode that Night Vale does. There's a few different ones. The first one is coming up in season 3. Every monologue episode, September monologues, October monologues, November monologues, March monologues, whatever it's called, has a bunch of different voice actors all reciting their own little monologue. So we'll hear from a bunch of different characters in that episode. Hatchets is coming up, episode 62. That's one of my favorites. I love when Leanne pretends to be a bagel wrapper, me and my sibling. I have a very fond memory of the both of us listening to that episode and cry laughing. It's the only episode of Night Vale they've heard. I think they overheard me hearing it, and when they were like, what the fuck is that? We have Best Of, which is a compilation episode. Apart from none of the clips are from existing episodes. They're all new clips, but this is because it's Night Vale. And I think the auction, I don't know if the auction is resolved here. If so, how sad. I mean, how good for Cecil. He deserves to not be owned by anyone anymore. Yes, we've had the woman from Italy. That was episode 39. Coming up, we've got Capital Campaign, Rumbling, the retirement of Pamela Winchell, the September monologues, A Carnival Comes to Town, the University of What It Is, Homecoming, Minutes, What of the Sea, The List, Monolith, Antiques, Water Failure, Briny Depths, Hatchets, There Is No Part 1, Part 2, We Must Give Praise, Voicemail, Worms, Best Of, Faceless Old Women, Fashion Week, and then Year 3 Finale Part A, Taking Off, and Part B, Review. Oh, green. Sure. That could be what it means. Thank you guys for listening for listening to Night Vale with me. That's only the end of season 2, and there's currently 12 episodes, so don't you worry. We got loads more Night Vale to go. I'm not gonna raid anyone because I feel kind of out of it. I think I'm getting a bit. It's warm. It's getting warm again this week. Like, what the fuck? I thought all the warm was meant to be done because, like, it's gonna be September. But it's gonna be like above 20. It's gonna be 24 on when. It's gonna get to like 24, 25 for a few days this week. Why? Can we stop having that, please? I want it to stay below 20, which means I'm gonna have to get the fan out again and feel like I'm melting. I'm gonna keep working on the vocaloid sticker. Let me switch back to this or I'll forget. I'm gonna keep working on the vocaloid stickers off stream for the rest of the day. I'll try and get the announcement for the next watch parties up, as always, in Discord. When I do the watch party posts, it'll include, like, any trigger warnings. I'll try and list all the trigger warnings there so you guys can choose before watching whether or not you want to see it. I normally separate trigger warnings out by spoiler-free and then, like, major plot spoilers, so you can choose to look at the spoiler, I mean, obviously all trigger warnings are kind of spoilers, but the non-major spoilers trigger warnings and then the major spoilers trigger warnings will be censored separately. Yeah, I will see you guys on Wednesday for Hades audio tonight. I don't remember what it is, but I hope you guys look forward to the audio that's coming out on the 31st. It is the second Not Safe for Work audio for this month. And those of you in my Discord saw me be like, I just ended up accidentally recording some new characters. I was kind of joking that there would be a new Hades character audio every month, like a new Hades character that I haven't voiced before, because obviously we just got Hypnos. And hee hee ha ha, oops, there's two new Hades characters that I've already recorded. You'll have to wait and find out what those are. One's going to be in September and one's going to be in October. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye, guys. Mwah.